Hello and welcome to the 24 hours of Sebring, the biggest race in the world. We have 25 cars lined up today with 75 drivers representing 11 different countries, and they're battling to be the king of Sebring, or queen, as we have two female drivers in the field as well. This is an immaculate event. Let's get you the rundown of how we're going to work this. The 24 hours will be divided up into 8 3-hour segments. At the end of each 3 hours, we go under caution, where we line up the field the way they finished. They'll have a chance to make some adjustments to the cars without actually replacing stuff in the vehicle. For example, if a gearbox breaks, they can't replace that. And at the end of it all, they have to be the last car standing at the end of these 8 segments. It's going to go throughout the night, and it's going to span through several channels. Coverage for the first segment will be here on this channel, the Utica Home Check Series channel. We'll also be covering the final segment, segment 8. If you're trying to catch the second segment, which will be right after this, it'll be on Joseph Inesto's channel. That will be in the description, so you can check that out. Well, it's time. Let's take a look at the starting lineup for today's event. Let's go to our rear chase camera and let's see. Jackie Tang is going to be on the pole in car number 77. He laid down the fastest time in qualifying to get that JT Motorsports team up on the point. To his outside is Conner Vale from the United Kingdom in that number 12 machine representing Jamaica Motorsports. Starting off row number 2, we have Chris Washer in car number 13 running for the NSCRA team. And to his outside, DJ Curtis in car number 3. In row number 4, we have RJ Bishop in car number 26 representing RGB Motorsports, and Stephen Pollard III representing his own team in car number 41. In row number 4, we have Alex Hawkins, car number 67, a Regional Pro Cup Series driver. And to the outside is James Qualls in car number 63 from Moorhead, Kentucky. In row number 5, we have Sean Galligan from Hartlepool, United Kingdom. And to the outside is Dan Bandon in car number 18, making the first time I've ever seen him start in an event. In the next row number 6, Logan York, car number 21. And to his outside is the Flying Dutchman, Robbert Pieete. Car number 53 of Alex Allen starts off row number 7, and to his outside is the 28 car of Eric Enrage, a local here to Florida, hoping to do well at his home race. Ian Dutta, car number 2, starts off row number 8, and to the outside is Zachary Fitzwater, car number 11. In the next row, we have Joshua Michaels in car number 7, and to his outside is Eugene DeMax from South Korea. In the next row, we have James Overflag representing Germany. To the outside is Alyssa Kirby, one of 2 female drivers in the field. In the next row, we have Tanner Sullivan, car number 14, representing Young Motorsports. And to his outside is car number 9 of William Dunkey from Hardy, Arkansas. In the next row, we have Alan Cavagnaro, car number 34. And to his outside is Colin Bartel in car number 81, representing the 12-man racing team. And in the final row, all by himself, it's Biggie Spencer, car number 88, who had the slowest time in qualifying. But that doesn't mean he's out of it yet. He still has 24 hours to make it from last place to first. We head back toward the front of the pack. We will probably get racing at about the 5-minute mark on our counter. The 3 hours will count down from then. So we will probably finish this race somewhere around 3 hours and 5 minutes on that counter. So before we do that, let's take a look at some drivers that we think may have an excellent shot today. Looking at that front row is very impressive looking. Jackie Tang in car number 77 laid down a fast time and kept it there. Race setups are completely different than qualifying setups, but I have a feeling he might have a good chance. Conner Vale was also a big surprise to the outside in that number 12 machine. A bunch of relatively unknown drivers in that Verizon machine, but that doesn't mean that lack of press means lack of talent, as they were able to qualify faster than some drivers that we've seen for many years. We also got to look out for some of our road racers, like Robbert Pieete back in the 35 car. He may be able to work his way to the front and pose a challenge for these drivers, as many of these drivers are coming from oval track racing. Before we start, we will just give you a full list of all the drivers that will be participating today. 75 drivers, as we mentioned. It's currently on screen. So if you see some drivers in there that you like, that you want to see go to victory, You know what cars to root for in this segment. Also, keep a note that the driver lineup will be alternating every segment. At the end of this segment, the second drivers on the list will go in for segment number 2, and then for segment number 3, we'll have the tertiary drivers. Well, the cars are on their way. They're going down this long straightaway. They have to go through the final turn, and then we will start today's event. Jackie Tang leading them off in that blue machine, car number 77. The pace car driver leading them around this final turn. What will happen in 24 hours? Will these drivers be able to handle the pressure, as many of these drivers have barely raced even an hour on track? The most I've seen one of these drivers go is 2.4 hours. So this is going to be a huge adjustment. We're coming to the line. Green flag in Sebring. Let's go racing for 24 hours. Conner Vale, car number 12, has the preferred line going into turn number 1. But can Jackie Tang pull off with a lead? He's not going to do it yet. It's car number 12 trying to work his way underneath him. Near the front, looks like all 25 drivers made off the grid and through turn 1 safely. As Jackie Tang, you gotta watch out for this section of turns. This is where we usually see some trouble. As it looks like car number 12, Conner Vale, is gonna go to the race lead. Oh, Stephen Pollard, the third, got off track a little bit. We go near the back of the pack, make sure everyone's doing fine. We've seen sometimes that drivers can go off in that segment. This is also another rough turn that these drivers have to go through. Will everyone survive it all right? I think they will. So, everyone's still racing as we head back to the front. Conner Vale in the lead, but Jackie Tang, car number 77, trying to get back underneath. He's got a strong race car. Chris Washer trying for it as well, but goes a little wide through that turn. Side by side battle for the race lead. As Tang still trying to get that preferred line on the inside, but Conner Vale has just been very fast in that outside lane. Jackie Tang might be able to do it here, but wait a second. Conner Vale will be able to go to the inside in this turn. No, Jackie Tang keeps it. Checking near the back of the pack, Biggie Spencer still running in last place. William Duncan has dropped back. So is James Silverfox. As Jackie Tang still sitting up front. Things have gotten a little single file near the front as Chris Washer has been having some trouble keeping that car on track. Car's starting to bunch up near the tail end of the field, as Washer gets a challenge from DJ Curtis in car number 3. DJ Curtis running for TNR Racing with Luis Hernandez and Darian Taylor, hoping for a good run on their behalf. The only time I personally have seen DJ Curtis on track was he ran a couple of lights events. He didn't run full schedule, but he's here today looking to definitely improve. Looking near the back, Biggie Spencer. There's a battle here between Colin Bartel and William Duncan, though I think William Duncan's going to get the advantage going into the turn. But Colin Bartel has not given up just yet. There's a couple of battles. There's one a little further up in the pack. I believe that's Alex Hawkins passing Logan York. There's Zachary Fitzwater in the 12th place. Let's take a look at how the home track driver is doing. Eric Enrage sitting in 10th place at the moment. Top 10 run is pretty solid for this event. He just needs to make sure he survives all 24 hours of this event, and he would be quite the hometown hero. The only other driver from Florida in the event is Dylan Young. He's driving as the tertiary driver to car number 14, which currently sits in the 20th place position. William Duncan. It's a little slow. I think he may have gotten off track a little bit, and he's going to drop all the way to the tail end of the field. We move back toward the point on the racetrack. Jackie Tang still out front, but Conner Vale is chasing him down. He's not going to give him any slack. DJ Curtis was unable to get by Chris Washer. And there's James Quall sitting in 5th place, driving the Susan G. Coleman machine. He was running for a charity operation, so some of the proceeds from the race are going to go to that charity. Let's hope he does well so that they can get some good funding. There's another car running for charity a little further back in the field. I believe that is this one. Car number 83, Alyssa Kirby, running for diabetes awareness. Alyssa Kirby actually has diabetes, and it's a really severe case. They have made precautions to make sure that if something goes wrong, like she needs insulin or anything, that they can get it to her when she makes a pit stop. Right now sitting in 19th. Excellent job for Alyssa Kirby. And there's a car going down pit lane. Alright, that's James Silverfox, car number 10. I'm not sure what the problem might be. He might have a flat tire. This is going to hurt James Silverfox and not what he wanted to see on lap 3 of the event. We move back toward the front. Still Jackie Tang in the lead, but Tang is going to overrun the turn. And this is going to send Conner Vale a little closer into his rearview mirror. We're heading down toward that really tight turn that can throw off a couple drivers. There's the tire marks from when Duncan went off track. Conner Vale starting to sneak to the inside. James Qualls also trying to make a pass. Anyone else going to have any struggles? No, everyone's going to keep it fine on track. Oh no! Alan Cavagnaro having some trouble in car number 34. This is bad for him. That car is smoking heavily. And I think he might be done. That looks terminal. What a shame for Alan Cavagnaro. Driver in the ARC-SOA series. Had some success over there. Was hoping for a great effort in this 34 machine. They were happy with their qualifying effort. He's running for Cavagnaro Shelley Motorsports, which is a combined operation between him and James Shelley. Jordan Dennis is also on their team, and looks like they're going to lose one of their cars already. Now, we want to let people know that just because you go out here doesn't mean you're out of the event, as you are allowed to bring a backup car on the racetrack. So this car is probably going to park. They're going to bring the 34 car back out with James Shelley for the next round. But Shelley needs to be careful not to wreck it out in round 2, or else they're going to be done for the entire event. So as he limps back to pit road, Silver Fox is off pit road. Conner Vale has taken the race lead. What happened to Jackie Tang? Jackie Tang has dropped all the way back to 5th place. And we're getting a report that he got a little bit off on the straightaway. Slowed him down, he got caught up in the grass, and that's going to send him back a little bit. DJ Curtis is going to get by him, and now Conner Vale is in the race lead. I actually don't know what Conner Vale has raced in. That's how little I know about this driver. But he's definitely turning heads out here on track today. He might be impressing some scouts that are looking for some drivers. Conner Vale from over the seas, over the Atlantic. Assuming he has some road racing experience, as this is an impressive effort. As Chris Washer also giving a good showing right behind him in 2nd place. He's raced on his share of racetracks, on his share of road courses in the NSCRA and several other series. So excellent job for him. He's running with the chairman of the NSCRA, Seth Cole. Seth Cole will be on board next round if, it's going to be guaranteed. There's Alan Cavagnaro. He's heading down pit lane. They've said over the radio that they are done. So he's going to be the first casualty of the event. They said the issue was a broken header. Silver Fox and Duncan, both in the red machines, trying to catch up to the main pack. Let's take a look at Biggie Spencer. He's gained a few spots already on the circuit. He made it by Ian Dutta, car number 2, Tanner Sullivan, and Connor Bartels. So Spencer, not a lot of road racing experience, but it might be enough to keep him going. Conner Vale in the lead. There's a big gap between James Qualls and DJ Curtis. And look at this stack up of cars near the back. We almost went 3 wide as Robbert Piete's trying to find a way around Jackie Tang, who's really fallen off the pace. Stephen Pollard III is going to get around him, and now Robbert Pieete will as well in the Red Bull machine. So already a lot of action in the early stages of this event. And there's Jackie Tang going down pit road, if we can get to him. There he is. So Jackie Tang must have a problem. He might have a tire down as well. Maybe hit a rock out in the grass. So goes from the pole to the tail end of the field in just 5 laps. So unfortunate for Jackie Tang. However, he still has 7 more segments to catch back up. We haven't even gotten an hour in. We're about 10 minutes in, actually. So we're going to be around for the long haul. James Qualls having an excellent run in car number 63, catching up to Chris Washer. He might be able to make a pass in a couple laps if he can just keep eating away at Washer's time. As you can see, he's already looking to the inside. Washer giving him a little bit of room. You don't want to fight for these positions too early since, you have to survive for the entire 24-hour event. And then another driver on pit road, William Duncan, pits again. So I think he's getting some service from when he went off track there. He tried keeping it out on the surface, but looks like they needed to come down pit road. He was losing some time. Battle between Logan York and Alyssa Kirby, and it's going to go in Kirby's favor. Switch to our second television cam. Alyssa Kirby's been slowly working her way up through the pack and having a great effort in this 83 machine. She says that the car is actually running pretty well. They just need to, oh, I see some tire tracks off the circuit there. I wonder if anyone got off. We don't have any reports of drivers with damage, so I think maybe someone just ran a little wide. But Alyssa Kirby said over the radio that the car is feeling good. She's holding back to make sure that this car can survive for this segment. We look up one spot further to Joshua Michaels in car number 7. He's been talking to Ray Takeda, who is on his team, who has a lot of success at road course racing. As we take a look, William Duncan's still on the pit lane. And he turned to her for some mentoring for this event, since Ray Takeda opted out of running it. So, after a while of going to various road courses around the world, Joshua Michaels feels he's ready to take on the Sebring circuit. He currently sits 14th on track, but it's not a bad thing at this point. He's hoping to get that 7 machine, which he's sharing with Joshua Collard and Michael Norman, to victory lane. Let's move up a little bit. Zachary Fitzwater from Australia sits in the 10th place spot. He's trying to make it by Sean Galligan, who's currently locked up in a battle with Dan Bandon. Zachary Fitzwater has made some starts in several other series. He's more of a road racer. I saw him in Regional Pro Cup action, trying the short tracks with not the best luck. So he's back in his own element for this. Eric Enrage gets a little wide off the racetrack, and that's going to allow Alex Allen, car number 53, to make it by. Alex Allen, a racer in ARC-SOA and Utica Home Track Series competition. Having a decent effort today in that 53 machine. He's splitting this ride with Stephen Carter and Alex Pedro. Stephen Carter ran in the Rallycross Series, so he's got some road racing talent on his side. Alex Pedro, a Regional Pro Cup Series driver. And Alex Allen shown some skill on the... He actually shown some road course skill. I saw him race at the Monza circuit in Utica Home Track Series, and he was having a decent run until he got caught up in a wreck. He also did relatively well at the Kyalami circuit. He qualified in, which is not an easy feat to do. Back up near the front, Chris Washer trying to give Conner Vale a bit of a challenge. James Qualls has lost a little ground on him. William Duncan's still on pit road. Hopefully he doesn't pull out of the event. That would be a shame for him to go out this early as well. And it'd be also pretty bad we lost 2 cars just 7 laps into this event. Let's take a look at RJ Bishop sitting in 5th place. He's having an excellent run. He's running on a team with Jordan Culp and Charles Sanford, so not drivers you would immediately think of when you think road racers, but they've been holding their own, and they're trying to challenge DJ Curtis, who's fallen off a little bit from the race leaders. Robbert Piete's also another driver you have to watch out for. They call him the Flying Dutchman because he's just amazing on these road courses. Definitely good at flying down the racetrack. As you can see, he's running in 6th place right now. This car is going to be split between John Cittadino and Joseph Ernesto, so all 3 of them having a lot of road racing abilities. Speaking of road racers, Alex Hawkins, though not a road racer himself, as looks like Alex Allen's going to get off the circuit a little bit. Eric Enrage is going to get a spot back, and Alex Hawkins is going to sneak by. Alex Hawkins is not considered much of a road racer. He's more of your local short track driver. But Anthony McCurry and Ralph Mason are both on his side, and both of them are great at endurance racing. They're the ones who held the 2.4 hours of Le Mans. So he's got some chops on his side that could help him to victory. Jackie Tang, sitting back in 22nd place, was the pole sitter and led the first couple of laps, but he just ran into a lot of bad luck, and now he's pretty far out of it. Doesn't look like he'll catch up anytime soon, since we're not running cautions in this, remember. So there's going to be nothing that brings the field back together. However, the plus side for Jackie Tang is he doesn't need to worry about getting involved in any wrecks, unless he decides to barrel it off the track himself. since he's not going to be caught up in any rough racing. He just needs to take it easy and survive to the end of the segment, where we'll bring all the cars back together, and Brandon Trasta is going to take over. Both he and Trasta are from California. We actually have quite a few California residents lined up for this event, so that seems to be the popular place for our endurance drivers to come from. Ian Dutta, I think, has had some trouble as well. He was a little slow a couple laps ago, but I don't remember hearing any word of him going down pit road. He must have, since he's this far back. So Ian Dutta from Brazil having some troubles on track already as well. Conner Vale sits in the lead once again. Following him is Chris Washer in car number 13. Third place is James Qualls, car number 63. He's followed by DJ Curtis in 4th place. Stephen Pollard the 3rd, rounding out your top 5. But Robbert Pieete is now locked in a battle with RJ Bishop for the 7th place position, I believe. Actually, no, they're battling for 6th place. RJ Bishop currently running in 7th. 8th place is Dan Bandon. Sean Galligan runs 9th, and Zachary Fitzwater running out your top 10. Eric Enrage, an impressive effort, running in 11th. Alex Hawkins is 12th, followed by Alex Allen, Alyssa Kirby, Joshua Michaels, Logan York, Eugene DeMax, Tanner Sullivan, Colin Bartel, Biggie Spencer, your top 20. James Hillerfox is in 21st. He's pretty far behind. Jackie Tank's 22nd. Ian Dutta 23rd. William Duncan, as we just about to mention him being stuck on pit road, finally getting off, and he's going to rejoin the circuit. He's 24th, and he's about almost 3 laps down, as Conner Vale's starting to catch up to him. One car is pulled out of the race. That's Alan Cavanaro, which is a real shame for him. He didn't even get much of a chance to be on track. If that 34 car can survive till segment 4, then he'll get another chance to be on track, but his odds for winning have already been cut down by a good margin. Let's see who we can talk about a little further back on track. Let's talk about Dan Bandon in car number 18. So he sits in the 8th place position, which to me would seem like a modest run. But considering that we don't have much knowledge about Dan Bandon, I don't really know any series he's participated in. The name is completely new to me. So, first impressions, he's doing an amazing job in this 18 car to run with some of these top-tier drivers. And the car is being split with Angel Navarro and Jeffrey Finguy. Jeffrey Finguy, definitely a notable name, especially in Utica Home Track Series competition. In fact, we need to give Jeffrey Finguy congratulations in that he was the winner of the NASCAR Regional Pro Cup Series Championship, which just finished up in Daytona, which is a little ways away, same state. So he came over from there, and he's going to be driving in this event as a champion. But Dan Bandon, an excellent effort for him. He's holding off Zachary Fitzwater, which isn't a usual feat if you've raced against him in Australian GP. So we'll have to see how the 18 car does with their plethora of drivers. Chris Washer starting to catch up to Conner Vale a little bit. Vale started to pull away, but I think he used up his tires a little bit too much. Chris Washer starting to work his way up there. James Qualls also holding his own very well, sitting in 3rd place. He's fallen a little bit behind the 13, but he's basically left 4th place in the dust. So these seem like the 3 big favorites to win the event. Though, again, we're on lap 9. 100 laps is the cap for this segment, though we probably won't run that amount since 2 minutes per lap will probably hit the 3-hour mark before lap 100. Let's see if we can check anyone out that's running a little further behind. Eugene DeMax is currently in 18th place, and he's currently not happy with the way the car is running. He started off a little bit better, but he's saying that this car just doesn't have the speed at the moment. They want to bring it down pit road during scheduled stops to maybe make some adjustments. The number 19 is running for Texan Motorsports. The reason it's called that is that Eugene DeMax has dual citizenship in South Korea and the United States. The shop he's running in is based out of Texas, though he himself is from South Korea. He's splitting this ride with Derek Pemberton and Jacob Anthony. I saw Jacob Anthony racing in the DuPont Cup Series for ARCSOA, and Jacob Anthony did an exceptional job on track. He was running the Talladega 500, and was looking to have some, looking to get to victory lane there, but just couldn't get the draft line going. Also, Derek Pemberton's been to victory lane before. Eugene DeMax also has raced in ARC-SOA and has some success in other series. So they have a strong team effort. They just need to get this car running in top fashion. Colin Bartel, sitting right behind him, is running a little further back than he'd like. He's actually been to victory lane before at a road course. He went to victory lane at the Megville Bull Run in the 2013 Utica Home Track Series. He's been trying to reclaim that former glory, which he already has with some Utica Rallycross Series wins. He's won 3 times there. So he's not shy to road racing, but I don't think this 81 car is handling particularly well. He's got 2 drivers on his team. One of them is a huge name in road racing. It is Matt Evans, the Black Mamba, who is a multi-time... He's the winningest driver in the Utica Rallycross Series and the winningest driver in the Utica Home Track Series, and has several road course wins. So he's pretty happy to have Matt Evans on his side. They also have John Blackburn, who's a friend of Matt Evans. He's hoping to make his debut in racing. So Colin Bartel has definitely got a good team going. Let's go back to the front of the pack, see how Chris Washer is doing. He's caught up by a good margin. They both have run away from James Qualls, who's now on his own. That's not a bad thing, seeing as anyone can wreck at any time. But Washer says he feels really confident about the way the 13 car is running. They may have something that could go for the win in the late stages. Though I'm not sure if he should be pushing it to the limit just yet. He wants to we need to make sure that car lasts all 24 hours. So if you're racing aggressively in segment 1, I don't really see the point, as all you're going to get out of it is credit for the segment win, and you're going to get a good qualifying position for segment 2, which isn't the most amazing thing in the world. I think they'll like the monetary bonus, though, for winning the segment. So I guess that's something. Let's take a look at some... There's a battle on track right now between Alex Hawkins and Alex Allen, as Hawkins goes way off the racetrack. But looks like he's going to keep it on there. Still challenged for that lead. More drivers have gone off the track there, but I haven't heard anyone complaining of damage, so they must be just barely missing that wall. There's also a pass going on right in front of them. Let's see who that is. That's Zachary Fitzwater going after RJ Bishop. Fitzwater is actually, looking at this, he's made it by a couple drivers this lap. He made it by Bandon, Pieete, Bishop. It looks like Fitzwater was just saving his tires to make some runs. He might be able to get by DJ Curtis right now if he can get a good run into the turn. Let's move back a little further into the pack, see what's going on with that battle between Hawkins and Allen. Allen trying to get that preferred line, but both of these cars just seem to be evenly matched. Hawkins does have an advantage with the draft line, but Allen currently with the preferred line. I think I saw Fitzwater there get by DJ Curtis, and he will. Robbert Piete's going to get into the grass a little bit. Excellent save by Robbert Pieete to make sure it doesn't crash into the wall. And Fitzwater is going to go inside the top 5 after being just inside the top 10 a couple laps earlier. DJ Curtis is not done though. He wants to try and catch up to him, but looks like Fitzwater is starting to run away with it. And Hawkins is going to get that battle won between he and Alex Allen. I want to know what happened to Alyssa Kirby. She's dropped all the way back to 20th place. I'm not sure if she went down pit road. I think we have a report. Let's see if we can get from the track officials. Yeah, she's actually went down pit road. They made a green flag pit stop. They didn't say anything was wrong with the car. It looks like maybe they were trying to go for an adjustment as well. So I'm not sure how smart of a move that is, but on the plus side, she is off cycle, so that could help in the long run. Conner Vale has pulled out a huge lead over Chris Washer, and looks like he's going to be on his own for a while. Conner Vale has been really smooth on track, and the rest of his team's pretty proud. PJ Williams is the head of that team, but he's opted to go last on the grid. Dylan Thoreau is their other driver. He's sitting in second. Dylan Thoreau is actually relatively new to the scene, if I am correct. I saw him on the entry list for the NSCRA Season 8, if I'm not mistaken. So he's going to probably get some experience there. This is a good way to start out your career if you're brand new, though, in something as high profile as this. Let's scroll back through the field a little bit. And Eric Enrage, still running in the top 10, having an exceptional run. Also have to talk about Sean Galligan, car number 15, running in 9th place overall. He's happy with the way his car is running. And I think he's pretty confident with the way he'll run on his team. He's running with Team Yoshi, which actually has a big international affair. He's representing the United Kingdom. Nick Pericles is from the United States, and Avis Rapax is from Lithuania, which you don't always hear of race car drivers coming from. But Avis Rapax has made some starts in the DuPont Cup Series. Hopefully he can bring his talent over here. There's actually a couple of countries here that you don't normally see represented, like the big one is on, for the 12 car, Jamaica Motorsports is called that because PJ Williams hails from Jamaica. Which, it being an island, you don't normally see many racetracks on them, but it's good that he's gotten the opportunity to race. William Duncan, still on the tail end of the lead lap, but, well, actually, he's not even on the lead lap. He's a couple laps down. But he's not in danger of going another lap down at the moment since he's got fresh tires on that 9 car. He's starting to run away. Now, he just needs to keep it in the race, and he'll be on the lead lap for segment number 2. So he doesn't need to worry about the lap count. He just needs to survive. He's sharing that ride with Chris Louviere and Kyle Sosnowski. Sosnowski is quite the road racer. We've seen him do well at the NASCAR Road Racing Challenge Cup, which unfortunately was a series that got canceled due to financial issues going all around the world. But in the 2 races run, Sosnowski did well in both of them, getting the pole for Zandvoort and having a great run at the Nürburgring, which is one of the most difficult tracks in the world. So Sosnowski definitely has the experience. Louviere has some ARCSOA experience, and William Duncan went to victory lane at Watkins Glen, the Utica Home Track Series. He's also a champion in that series. So that's a good title to carry around. Champion. Stephen Pollard III is a driver that's actually surprised me a little bit. Pollard is more of a speedway racer, but he's shown that he can adapt, as he's sitting 4th on track at the moment. He's splitting this ride with the relative unknown Nathan Ormond, who this is the first time I've seen him in something. We have quite a few new faces here, and I'm happy about that. I like seeing all these new drivers on track, see what they can bring to the table. He's also splitting this ride with Zachary Robinson, who's had some Utica Home Track Series experience. I think he's also run some NASCAR races as well. He has some experience on road courses, so he could help him out. He's going to be their tertiary driver. But Stephen Pollard III, great effort so far with that 41 machine. We have a battle between Robbert Pieete and DJ Curtis. They're battling for 6th place. And Curtis, I think, is going to have the preferred line going into the corner. But Robbert Pieete is fast. He is going to the outside to try and take advantage. This curves back to the inside, and it looks like he's going to do it. And Dan Bandon is also going to make an effort to get by him. DJ Curtis has actually been relatively slow these past couple of laps. I'm not sure if there's something ill handling with that car, or if he's just taking it easy and not pushing the envelope to make sure he can get to the next round unscathed. But Dan Bandon, trying to dive to the inside, he decides better of it, going to wait a little bit. So Curtis drops back to the 7th place spot. Robbert Pieete is going to gain a position. Let's look a little further back in the field. Not much change near the back. Everyone's been running mostly in their same position. I don't think they want to make passes just yet, just in case something goes wrong. Let's take a look at a driver we haven't really covered so far. This is Logan York, driving the 21 machine. A driver in the NASCAR Lights who was good enough to actually get bumped up to the main series when Alex Tanker vacated his ride. Tanker is actually going to be in this event. He's splitting the 88 machine with Biggie Spencer and Rick Witt. But Logan York, keeping it cool on track, and he's doing what he needs to do. Survive. So he doesn't need to worry about anything just yet. He's splitting this ride with John Smith from New Mexico and Alyssa Fields, two drivers that I have no knowledge of. So we'll have to see if they can surprise us on track. But right now, Logan York just playing it safe near the back of the pack. Let's also take a look at Biggie Spencer. He's also keeping it cool in 17th place. Not wrecking that 88 machine. He ran some NASCAR Lights events. He's also slated for some Utica Home Truck Series starts. Spencer, not a plethora of racing experience under his belt, but keeping cool on track at the moment. We actually have a little bit of... Oh, RJ Bishop. I didn't even notice that he went down pit road, but RJ Bishop has gone down the pit lane. And he's back in this small group of cars with Alyssa Kirby and James Silverfox. So these three currently not battling near the front, but having their own little scuffle near the back. Alyssa Kirby's on fresher tires than James Silverfox, so I think she's going to get the advantage of that. Another driver back there, Eugene DeMax, also went down the pit lane. Jackie Tang must have had a relatively long pit stop, because even with fresh tires and pitting much earlier than these guys, he still can't catch up. So either they're having a lot of problems or he just had a really long pit stop. Ian Dutta as well. James Quall's up to second place. I think Chris Washer has gone down pit road. Yep, there he is. So I think we're starting some green flag pit stops. We'll have to keep an eye on that. DJ Curtis has gone down pit lane. And I don't think these drivers near the back here are going to head back down unless Silverfox feels it's time to get fresher tires. Nope, they don't. So we're going to have to go back to the front of the pack and see what these drivers do. As Conner Vale has a huge lead over James Qualls. And Qualls has a big gap over Pollard. Fitzwater's been gaining pretty rapidly. This 11 car has been on fire these past couple of laps. Pieete in the top 5, Bandon, Galligan, Hawkins, Enrage, and Allen your top 10. Let's head up to car number 12. Let's see if he decides to take pit road or if he's going to keep out there on track, keeping the race lead, since he's running on the same tire strategy as everyone else at the moment, since no one else in the top group has pitted. So it's not like Qualls has fresher tires than him, unless Qualls has been saving up. It looks like Qualls has been running pretty all out, just that he hasn't been able to get the same speed as Vale has. Conner Vale, will he opt for pit road? He keeps it out on track. How about James Qualls? Qualls stays out. Pollard and Fitzwater. Pollard is going to stay out, but Fitzwater is going to dive down pit road, make those tires even fresher, I guess. Robbert Pieete sitting in 5th place. Bandon stays out. Galligan, Hawkins, Enrage. Not many takers this lap, it would seem. So yeah, it looks like Fitzwater is going to be going down all by himself. It looks like Chris Washer is still on pit road. Are they having a problem? It looks like Chris Washer might be having an issue with that number 13 car, unless he got into some trouble that we're not aware of. Let's go check the replays to make sure he hasn't gotten into any trouble. Chris Washer has gotten into trouble. This is a replay from just about a few laps ago. This car just immediately just dropped in speed. It looks like the entire car is shut down. And that car actually stalled on the racetrack. They brought it to the attention of the tow truck. So he's currently on pit road for a while. So with Washer on the pit lane, this may be the end of it unless they can get that car fired right back up. Conner Vale still in the lead. He has not opted down pit road yet. No one else has done it. Wait a second. It looks like they're changing tires on the 13 car. Do they think they may be able to get out there? It could be. We'll have to see, though. This is going to really kill Chris Washer's run, as he was so close to the lead. No! They've pulled it out. I don't know why they changed tires on that car, but they've decided to pull it out of the event. They can't get it started back up. It's terminal, and they are done. So what a shame for Chris Washer, who had such a great race car, was battling up near the front with Conner Vale. They're not out of it yet, though, as Seth Cole still has an opportunity to get behind the wheel. We're heading by the pit lane once again. Vale decides to stay out, so does Qualls. Will Pollard pull down? Nope. Robbert Pieete, will he opt to go down pit road this lap? He will not. How about Dan Bandon in car number 18? No, not him either. Neither Galligan, Hawkins, Enrage, Michaels, Sullivan, York. There's one car heading down, that's Alex Allen. I think Kirby's the leader of the cars that have gone down pit road. There's Fitzwater, who's running a little behind her. You know, Kirby has really stepped it up. They've made some adjustments to that machine during their pit stop, and it's been flying on track. Fitzwater has new tires, and she's already starting to run away from him. And in fact, RJ Bishop has newer tires than her as well, and Bishop has been left in the dust. DeMax trying to get around James Silverfox. DJ Curtis also tailing that field. Jackie Tang is a little closer now. I wonder if that's just because of the distance between them. But it looks like Alex Allen might actually lose a spot to Jackie Tang because of this pit stop. He will. So Allen going to rejoin the field in 22nd place. Ian Dutta probably going to be dropped. Actually, it would be 21st place since Jackie Tang didn't get by him when he got to the line. So back down to 21st will be Allen. Conner Vale still leads out the pack. I don't think we've seen any more trouble on the racing surface from anyone. Nope, no more trouble as of yet. So now Conner Vale will go through this one more time to see if he decides to go down pit road, hand the lead over to someone else. Though Vale does have an impressive lead. If a couple drivers pit with him, then he might be able to stay in that race lead. Will he head down? Not just yet. Vale trying to stretch his tires. He knows that car is running well. He doesn't want to pit prematurely. Stephen Pollard the third stays in third. Robbert Pieete, he's going to keep on track as well. Dan Bandon, Sean Galligan, Alex Hawkins. Looks like everyone's going to stay out this lap. So at the criminal, we have a couple drivers that are running on strategies that are within a couple laps of each other. Now there's this gap between them, and we have the lead cars still yet to come down pit road. So this could, at the criminal, this seems like very minor pit strategy, but if you think about it in the end of the race, who will make it to the end on fuel and tires? Because if they have to pit with just 1 minute left to go in the event, then that could throw off their entire qualifying effort for round number 2, since their finishing position here decides where they're going to start for the next round. So either Alyssa Kirby is going to make it to the end just fine, or she'll run out too soon, since she came down the pit road early. All depends on how these pit stops cycle out. Just as a note, we have been racing for 38 minutes, just about. Just gotta take that time and subtract 5 minutes. Almost 6, since we almost started at the 6-minute mark. So we've been racing for about 38 minutes. And having some decent racing action. We've had a lot of passing going on, a lot of pit drama, and a lot of on-track drama in the ways of Alan Cavagnaro and Chris Washer. So of the 25 cars that started this segment, only 23 are still on track. And we still have a long ways to go, as now we head back toward the pit lane. See if any takers will come down this time. Conner Vale is going to decide to stay out. James Qualls as well. Stephen Pollard is going to come down. So Pollard leads off pit stops on lap 19. Pieete will stay out to gain a position. Will Dan Bandon opt down? Nope. Now the gaggle of cars. The gaggle led by Galligan, I should say, but they're going to stay out too. Alyssa Kirby's actually starting to catch up to this group of cars, so this might be some great pit strategy, as she might be able to get the race lead if she can just stay up there and with these fresh tires, gain on the tail end of the field. Pollard, that looks like that pit stop's going normally. Now, you're probably wondering, listening to these cars, why they do not sound like your typical Indy cars, despite looking like that. Well, you see, the engines have been beefed up, because this typical IndyCar engine may not be able to run the 24 hours, so these are much more durable engines, and they sound a little more like the stock car ones. So, if you are one that likes the IndyCar sound, unfortunately this is not the event for you. However, these cars will make it to the end with this engine package, so that's something that the drivers would rather have, duration rather than the sound. Now, the biggest group of cars on track at the moment is this one led by Sean Galligan, who sits in 6th place. He's got a big trail of cars following him. Let's talk about Tanner Sullivan, who's inside the top 10 at the moment. He's running with the team owner of Dylan Young, and he is also running with Jason Trost, who has made a high-profile deal in the DuPont Cup Series with John Sayadino to have him as his driver. So Trost, a team owner in that series. Tanner Sullivan, a driver and friend of Dylan Young, decided to get the ball rolling for this event. He's trying to pull under Joshua Michaels. Not sure if that'll work. Speaking of them being near the pit lane, Robbert Pieete, James Qualls, and Conner Vale all come down. It's just a matter of who will stay out. It's Dan Bandon, car number 18. So he will take the lead this next lap. Alex Hawkins, Joshua Michaels, I believe that's Tanner Sullivan. Yep, I'm correct. And Biggie Spencer are all going to stay on the racetrack. Everyone else is going to come down pit road. So lap 21 is going to be the big pit cycle for these leaders. So expect them to come down in maybe about 21 more laps. That seems to be the longest that a lot of these drivers can run. Dan Bandon now in the race lead. As we said earlier in the event, not too familiar with what he has in terms of a resume in racing, but he can say that he led the 24-hour race in segment 1 as part of it. Now, we're not sure if he's going to go down pit road this next lap, but he very well might. We also have Alex Hawkins, who's running with the 2 endurance racers. Joshua Michaels, who's the protege of Ray Takeda. Tanner Sullivan, who's works with Dylan Young and Jason Trost. And Biggie Spencer, who I bet Biggie Spencer's probably ecstatic in the race car because he qualified dead last on track. You can tell that he's excited to be here because in qualifying, he was the first car to get on that circuit. He was like, I need to get out here now and make some times. It didn't really work for him in terms of qualifying, but at least he's here right now. He's running up in, I would say, 5th place. So, happy place for him to be. Zachary Fitzwater is currently flying. He was holding off when he first started on pit road to save his tires. Alyssa Kirby's been running flat out all of these laps. So, he's trying to catch up to Kirby. Kirby's going to gun it again going down this straightaway, so she has an excellent machine under her as she tries to pass what would be Biggie Spencer and officially make her way up there. Cars on pit road, that's Dan Bandon, so he actually will not be able to lead this lap. This would put Alex Hawkins, car number 67, out front. Alex Hawkins, I don't even think has led a regional Pro Cup Series event, so this must be an exciting time for him to be out front in the lead. So we know that Dan Bandon decided to go down with 22 laps for his fuel mileage. Let's take a look at where the former leader cycled out. He's currently in 11th. This probably moves up to 10th because of Dan Bandon opting down pit road. Biggie Spencer is going to hold up Alyssa Kirby on her hunt to take the position. Here comes Zachary Fitzwater trying to make the pass underneath. Can Fitzwater get a maneuver made? Or will Alyssa Kirby stay in the race lead? And also, just to update her on her medical condition, she says she's feeling fine in the car. Nothing related to any issue with insulin or anything. So that's good to hear from Kirby, as she is running for a great cause. I'm not sure how much of the funds are being donated to charity. Whether it's going to be the segment win money or if it's going to be the overall victory. Maybe if she wins the manufacturer challenge. But excellent run for her. She's splitting that ride with Thomas Beattie from Triton Motorsports, who's really helped with getting some supplies together for it. And Matt Duell from Duell Motorsports, also helping with the cause. So let's see where Dan Bandon has cycled out to. He's about 19th on track. But Colin Bartel is already trying to make a maneuver on him to the inside. Let's head back up toward the front of the pack, see if anything changed. And it looks like cars coming down pit road. Hawkins, Michaels, Sullivan. So this is going to put Alyssa Kirby, car number 83, in the race lead, as Biggie Spencer also heads down. So Alyssa Kirby in the race lead. And you can say, since this is the first 24-hour race we've ever run, she is the first female driver to lead the 24 hours race. Now, Thomas Beattie and Matt Duell, as we just mentioned, going to be splitting the ride with her. Beattie is going to be coming in next segment, Matt Duell for the third. All running under the Racing with Diabetes flag, but it's a combination effort between all of their teams to put this car together and put it into running order. They have a great car underneath them, so I can see good things happening to this 83 machine. Zachary Fitzwater still trying to make the pass. Going to lose it coming out of that turn. We also got to make sure we check this turn a little bit. I think we get a little... Oh no! We have some trouble on track. Robbert Pieete having a problem. I think they're saying it's the gearbox. So Robbert Pieete, car number 35. He had such a good run. Was running in the top 5 all day long. Already going to pull that 35 machine behind the walls. He almost runs into Dan Bandon, who's trying to catch back up to the lead pack. And I think I saw some contact between Colin Bartel and Eric Enrage. Hopefully that didn't do anything to either car, as I definitely think they made some contact going in there. But Robbert Pieete, he is absolutely downtrodden over the radio. He was so confident that this 35 car could get a good finish for this round. Now he's going to drop all the way out of it. He would finish this round 23rd unless another car goes out before he heads to pit road. So it looks like John Sedino's going to have to try and pick up the pieces with the backup car next round. And I hope we can keep it alive for Joseph and Estelle. Remember, they're not out of it yet. They still have the backup car. So they can swoop in and try and finish the race with that machine. But this is really sad. This is such a fast race car. NASCAR Motorsports is the team name behind it, though it's a combination between Top Notch Racing and Pieete Motorsports and Sedino Motorsports. Oh man, what a disappointing run for that team. As we have a pass for the lead, Zachary Fitzwater has overtaken Alyssa Kirby. He's been saving those tires while Alyssa Kirby was trying to gun it to make sure she got to the front of the pack. Zachary Fitzwater was biding his time and now is starting to pull away from car number 83. We also have to take a look in third place. Eugene DeMax sits in third place. At the beginning of this event, he was complaining about how awful this car was running. Now he says it's running pretty good. But look at this. Conner Vale has already passed his way up into the 4th place position. He's made it by RJ Bishop and DJ Curtis, who are running on older tires. Looks like Conner Vale is going to be one of the faster cars that these drivers are going to have to beat. Colin Bartel is getting passed by Dan Bandon. Bandon has faster tires, but Bartel is complaining about the handling on this car. I think it may have screwed something up when he made that contact with Eric Enrage. Because he's saying this car is now running up to snuff. So Bartel may have doomed this 81 car to not getting a good finish for this one. However, if he can keep it in the race, he'll be fine. They can fix it up, try and get the handling right in the quick break between segments, and get back out on track for the next round. Matt Evans would be the one taking over the ride. So I think Matt Evans can do it. He's been in charge of some odd handling cars before, and he's been able to get some good runs from them. Robbert Pieete on the pit road. Looks like he's done for today. They've parked there. Piete's gotten out, and he's retreating to the hauler. So it looks like they're not coming back. Eugene DeMax has made the pass for second place over Alyssa Kirby, who used up her tires a little earlier. Conner Vale is right on the back bumper. He's pretty aggressive out there. He wants to get by the 83 machine, and you can't blame him. So far, if we look near the front, in terms of drivers that we were anticipating being up here, Fitzwater is really the only one. DeMax, Kirby, and Vale, all three of them are drivers that you don't normally think of for the road courses, and in the case of Kirby and Vale, you just don't think about, since this is the first time we've really seen them in competition. But they're having a great run today, and they've made some smart pit strategy up near the front. DJ Curtis currently in 5th place. We haven't talked about him too much in a while. Still hanging in up near the front. He pitted early, and I think pitting early might be a little bit of an advantage for these drivers if they can get the timing right. But we will have to see as the race goes along. There's James Qualls and Stephen Pollard the third. You know what? How about we go toward the front of the pack, and we do a through. Oh wait, we have a driver on pit lane. That's William Duncan. He's off cycle. Ian Dutta was also off cycle due to his pit stops. Jackie Tang may have also gone down pit road. Actually, no, I don't think he has, because Alex Allen is not that far away from him. Let's go through the field and see where your drivers are running. Zachary Fitzwater in the race lead in that car number 11 machine. He's running for Fitzwater Australia Racing. Splitting that ride with Daniel Voiles, many consider his best friend in the whole world, and Henry Nova from Row 1 Motorsports. So they have some definite talent on that team. Henry Nova's done some road racing before. They're happy with the way the car is running. They said they got a fast machine with them, and it's been handling well in the turns. Fitzwater has been amazing at saving his tires, so the 11 car might be a factor coming to the end of this segment. And you'll have 2 more opportunities on track for segment 4 and segment 7. Second place is now Conner Vale in car number 12. Vale has been really fast on the racetrack. Vale is really impressed with the way this car has been running, and for a team that without much prestige like Jamaica Motorsports, they've been able to build an exceptional race car. I can see some of those employees maybe getting offers from some of the big teams to build cars for them. This car is just beautiful on the racetrack. DJ Curtis moves up to 3rd place. What happened to Alyssa Kirby? Has she gone down pit lane? It looks like she has. So Alyssa Kirby has decided to pit, get fresher tires. Going back through the field, DJ Curtis is in 3rd place at the moment. He says this car is not the best handling car they've ever run, but it's still sitting up in the top 3. He just needs to play it safe, and they can maybe get a solid finish out of this. James Qualls, car number 63, sits in the 4th place position, running the Susan G. Komen machine. We haven't mentioned who he's splitting this ride with. He's splitting it with Chris Dollarton and Kyle Collins. And right now he's trying to pass DJ Curtis on the inside. Can he get it done? Qualls is happy with the way this race car is running. So we won't be surprised if we see James Qualls running up near the front in a later segment. He makes it by. Stephen Pollard the third is the driver running out the top 5, as he's got a huge gap over 6th place. Stephen Pollard the third, not your first choice when talking about road races. He's actually going down pit road. I think he says, I'm not sure why he's going down pit road. He's not been on track for that long. Maybe they cut a tire or something. We'll have to get the story on that. He's going to relinquish his spot to Sean Galligan, who will now take the 5th place position. Sean Galligan having a great effort with this car. He's already started to pull away. They made some adjustments on the pit stop, and they seem to have worked, as this car has been much faster than it was prior. He just ran one of his fastest laps of the event just now, as you can see up there, a 1:58.019, which is 3 thousandths of a second less than his fastest time. So Galligan may have just made his car competitive for the late stages. Logan York sits in 7th place. He's been running near the back for most of the day, now getting a chance to be up in the top 10. York says that the car is very fair handling. They might make more adjustments as the race goes along, as they already made one adjustment to make it a little faster on the pit stop. Dan Bandon has thanked his crew over the radio, saying how great of a car they've given him. Now, he's running for his own team of Bandon Motorsports, but Navarro and Finguy have offered technology to help. Finguy technology is actually some really good stuff. They've been able to get the victory lane many times in Finguy cars. But the flagship name is under Dan Bandon Motorsports, and he's happy with the way they put together this race car. It started off as a pet project for them to get this car into the race, and now they're racing here, and it seems to have been all worthwhile. Colin Bartel sits in 9th place. He's still not too happy with the way the car is running due to the way due to the contact with Enrage, but he's saying that it's not bad enough yet that he would pull it out. As you can see, if you look at his car, the car is actually relatively raised compared to the other ones. I think it may have thrown off a little bit of the alignment, as that car is pretty high off the ground. I don't think that was an adjustment they made, as this car was looking like this after pit stops. So we'll have to see if maybe this will be helpful to drivers. I don't know, but very unusual setting for the chassis on that 81 machine. Eric Enrage looking a little more normal down toward the ground. You don't really see much under the vehicle. He sits in 9th place, having a good showing from the hometown crowd. Now, when questioned on if that contact hurt his car in any way, he said not especially. They've made some adjustments on pit road, but the car seems to be running just about as well as it was earlier in the event. Riding out the top 10 is Alex Hawkins in the 67 car. He says this car has dropped off a little bit since pit stops. Whatever adjustment they made, he's not particularly happy with it. Maybe it'll come to him a little later, but at the current moment, he's just trying to keep it on track, as he's getting caught up to by Joshua Michaels. Michaels is in the 11th place spot, Tanner Sullivan in 12th, Biggie Spencer sits in 13th, followed by RJ Bishop, Eugene DeMax, who's gone down pit road, Alyssa Kirby, Stephen Pollard III, James Silverfox, Alex Allen, Jackie Tang, your top 20, Ian Dutta in 21st, William Duncan is a couple laps down in 22nd. We're back to the front of the pack. Zachary Fitzwater leads. Conner Vale trying to catch up. He hasn't been able to catch him as quickly, as Fitzwater did a great job conserving tires. So Fitzwater could be a judge. Wait a second, he's going down pit road. I don't know why he's not been on track for that long. Maybe about 10 laps at the very most. So Conner Vale is going to go back into the race lead, as Fitzwater looks like he's pretty steadfast on making sure the tires are always fresh. Maybe they've worn them out a little bit this past couple of laps trying to catch Alyssa Kirby. But whatever the case, car number 12 sits in the race lead. James Qualls back to 2nd place. We're all cycled out back to where we were earlier. DJ Curtis down pit road again. And look at this, Logan York is going to be in... Oh wait, nope, it's going to be Sean Galligan who's going to be in 3rd place. But still, look at this. Galligan up to 3rd. So great effort for him. We're closing in on the hour mark. You see down there, if we have to subtract 5 minutes and 53 seconds, as that's when we cross the start line. And that will be the time that we've currently run so far. Just to make sure you at home can do the math. Let's look a little bit further down through the pack, see if we can talk about any news stories, stuff that we haven't mentioned. Let's talk about Biggie Spencer, who's currently worked his way up past Zachary Fitzwater, who came off pit road. Having a great effort in that 88 machine. I'm pretty impressed with the way that car number 88 of Biggie Spencer has been on track. He's been keeping it calm, cool, and collect, while still having a little bit of fun out there. Now he's got to hand it over to Rick Witt, who has some Regional Pro Cup Series, well, DAF Car Lights experience. But other than that, doesn't have much in the way of road racing. And Alex Tanker has shown some road racing skills, but he's more of a super speedway driver. So I'm not sure how well prepared the 88 car is for this event. They are probably, if they win, they'll probably be the unlikely underdog victory. So that's something to watch out for. But at the moment, it looks like it's going to be a safe bet that they're maybe not going to go to victory lane, but they could be able to. Wait a second, it looks like RJ Bishop's going to pass Zachary Fitzwater. So either Fitzwater is saving again, or they have some sort of problem. Maybe they made an adjustment on the pit stop that didn't work out too well, because he's not really gaining on this group despite having fresher tires. In fact, he's losing on RJ Bishop. He looks like he's diving down again. We weren't sure if he was going to head towards pit road a second time, but I don't know. Fitzwater, he's been relatively silent over the radio. They just made a service stop and they got him back out there. No idea what the reasoning was, but it looks like he just gave up the race lead just to come down pit road. Had to see if that strategy works out for them in the end. Pollard's pretty far back due to his pit stop. He also pitted at kind of an odd time. He's currently ahead of James Silverfox, who's been trying to catch up to the pack ever since he had some trouble. Silverfox also had trouble in the qualifier race. He spun his number 10 car out, and that really hurt his qualifying effort. He was one of two cars to spin. The other was Jackie Tang. So we're wondering if that had anything to do with... Nah, that's just kind of a baseless accusation that his spin in qualifying hurt his race performance. But I digress. We have made it past the hour mark in today's event. So what we're going to do, we're going to take a quick 3-minute commercial break, and we will rejoin you with the action. Conner Vale in the lead, James Qualls in second. We'll be back after this. We are back, and it looks the same out front. Conner Vale in the lead by a large margin over James Qualls in the 63. Still trying to catch up, though. He's not insanely far back, but he does have a little ways to go. Sean Galligan's pretty far back from second place. He still has to make it through the back end of the track. Logan York, Dan Bandon, Colin Bartel. Not much has changed since we went away. However, Joshua Michaels and Tanner Sullivan both have cracked the top 10 now. So they are currently sitting up there. As Fitzwater went down pit road, Biggie Spencer has dropped back a little bit. I'm not sure if it was just due to the speed of his car. The 88 car hasn't been as quick on the racetrack as some of these other cars, so he's been having some trouble. For those just tuning in, we have gone through 1 hour of the event so far. At the current moment on the clock, we have gone through 1 hour and 5 minutes. Just so you know, you have to subtract 5 minutes and 53 seconds from the time on the bottom, and that is how long we've been racing. So, after 1 hour of racing action, looks like most of these drivers are still in high hopes. They haven't had to run the full 3 hours of the segment yet, nor the full 24 hours of the entire event. No other cars have gone out, but we've currently seen 3 casualties on track. Well, car casualties, not driver casualties. Oh god, maybe a poor choice of words there. The 34 of Alan Cavendaro had a mechanical issue that put him out of the event. Chris Washer also had an issue on track. His car completely lost all power, and they were unable to get it fired back up and into the race. It looks like they had a terminal issue with the motor. It just stopped. I'm not sure. They didn't say it was an electrical issue, but they said that they were having an issue that required replacing a part, which is something you can't do during this race. All you can do is repair the parts that are in there, but it looks like it was terminal. The third car that went out of the race was Robbert Pieete. He had a gearbox shatter on him. So 3 drivers done for today. 22 still on track. Now remember, all 3 of those drivers that have pulled out of the race are not going to stay out of the race. They have a backup car that they are allowed to go to, but once that backup car goes out of the event, then they're done for good. So they'll all be back with James Shelley, Seth Cole, and John Sayadino, respectively. So the actions died down a little bit on track at the moment, as a lot of these drivers have spaced themselves out. This is the closest battle you'll find. Biggie's... Whoa! Eugene DeMax almost got into Alyssa Kirby and almost ended up turning the 83 car around. Biggie Spencer has been saying over the radio that this car is not feeling too good. We're hoping that he can make it to the end of the race, but he's saying that the car just does not have the speed, but they don't want to bring it down pit road just yet. They want to make sure they stay on their pit cycle. They also don't particularly care about the overall check. Oh, James Qualls has gone down pit road. Looks like, was that scheduled? We're getting a report? Yes, that was a scheduled stop. So, James Qualls decided to relinquish second place. Is going to give it to Sean Galligan. And if you look at the lap times, he's been running times close to the leader, but Conner Vale still getting the edge on Sean Galligan. Galligan has said he's pretty happy with the way the race car has been running. They made some adjustments. He's feeling fine on track. He's got to hand it over to Nick Pericles next to, no disrespect to Nick Pericles, but if you remember him from the NASCAR Regional Pro Cup Series, he doesn't have a lot of friends out on the racetrack, so Pericles not an incompetent driver, but not a driver that gets on a lot of people's good side. Galligan decided to pick him up for the long haul. Felt he had something that he could bring to the team. Team Yoshi is what they're running for. Also, Avis Rapax could be a real savior on the third cycles. Taking a look in third place, you have Logan York and Dan Bandon, who've been battling for the past couple of laps, but Bandon's been keeping cool. Doesn't want to push the envelope to pass Logan York, as Logan York has been pretty defensive with his driving, making sure that he keeps that spot. He's diving a little low. I'm not sure if he's going to head down pit road. Nope. See, it's kind of difficult when you see them pulling low there. Oh, speaking of a car going down pit road, that's Colin Bartel in the 81. So we'll have to see what they're going to do. Maybe they'll try and fix that chassis alignment, since if you did not hear our previous broadcast before the commercial, we were mentioning that that car is sitting really high on its chassis. And he's been complaining about a lot of handling issues. So maybe they're going to do something about it. James Silverfox comes down pit road. He's been off cycle this entire race due to having an early pit stop. So he comes down on lap 34. The pit cycle of this race has actually been pretty sporadic. We haven't had many uniform pit stops where a lot of cars have gone down. Colin Bartel is back racing. We'll have to check as he comes out, see if that car, they were able to fix the chassis. It looks a little high in the front. Makes the way around the cones. No, it looks like that car's still sitting a little high on its axles, so not able to get it done. I think they took a look at it, but nothing that they could do at the moment based on what we're hearing. Alex Allen coming down pit road, changing tires. Ian Dutta trying to capitalize on a couple of positions. William Duncan still still running around out here. It must be kind of boring for William Duncan, since he doesn't really have the opportunity to pass any cars since he's so far behind. All he has to do is just drive carefully, so usually not the William Duncan strategy of just exist on the racetrack, but he's going for it. He's going for it, and Conner Vale has come down pit road. Will Sean Galligan? Yes, Galligan will too. So we have some pit stops on lap 35, which is not the longest drivers can go without a pit stop. Logan York is going to stay out, and he will take the race lead. Dan Bandon following close behind. This might be Bandon's chance to race Logan a little aggressively if he wants to get out into the race lead. The less cars in front of you, the better. So, anyone else going to die down pit road? Enrage, Eugene DeMax. So again, the pit cycle is a little sporadic. Eugene DeMax has gone down pit road 3 times in 35 laps. Not sure if he's having an issue or if they're just experimenting with pit strategies. There isn't a tire limit for these cars. If they need more tires, there is a tire facility not too far away from here where they're shipping these Firestone tires in. If they need more, they can always send them. We have 24 hours, so we can be covered for the late stages. This is a big event, so we're not going to have a real big tire limit to it. Also, more tires means more money in the tire maker's pocket, so helping out the Firestone company a bit. So Logan York still out front, but the question is he going to go down pit road? If he pits, then someone else could take the race lead, like Dan Bandon or Alex Hawkins. We went the wrong way on that. We also got to take a look here with Tanner Sullivan, still having an excellent run despite the start of the race being pretty lackluster and quiet. So Sullivan hoping to do good today. Alyssa Kirby in the top 10 once more, so she might be able to get back out to the front if she can just keep it cool. This car hasn't been as fast as it was earlier. And of this group of cars, RJ Bishop was the one who really capitalized on that pit stop. He's been pretty fast, but here comes Fitzwater. Fitzwater might have heard us talk about RJ Bishop and like, nope, we need to get out to the front. Anyone down pit road? No, but there's a change for the lead. Dan Bandon. He's going to get back out front, passed on his own behalf. He knew he was faster than Logan York these past couple of laps, but he didn't want to try anything risky unless there was a good reward for it. And I think leading here today is definitely a good reward. Bandon, really excited about this 18 car, hoping to get this 18 machine for his cell phone team to victory lane with his 2 friends, Navarro and Finn Guy. Logan York, despite getting past for the lead, still having an impressive effort out here today. They're not considered one of the top teams here today. It's Fastline Auto Racing. And they don't even have the driver lineup that many would consider the dream team. John Smith and Alyssa Fields have very minor racing backgrounds. Logan York doesn't have the most experience either. He's practically a rookie. But he's given some of these veterans a run for their money by keeping up in second place. So I'm not sure how long he'll be able to stay on the racetrack. As you see, Dan Bandon is already going to blast by him. Jackie Tang on pit road in car number 77. He's pitting by himself. He has that first pit box, but hasn't really gotten to get any advantage from it. Allen dropped a little far behind William Duncan. Ian Dutta in car number 2, we really haven't gotten to talk too much about because he has not been in much competition. We haven't mentioned who he's driving with. He's driving with Nathan Minazuki and Eric Cardona. So, I mean, Minazuki has run some races at some local English tracks. He's been to Brands Hatch and I believe he went to, what's that track? It escapes me. I forget what track he said he's had experience on. I'm also assuming he's been to the Rockingham circuit. But the 2 car has some road racing experience under the belt. I'm not sure what Cardona's road racing resume is, but hopefully they can get this 2 car back into the event for segment number 2. Dan Bandon, Logan York, Alex Hawkins, your top 3. Joshua Michael sits in right on the outside of the top 5. Conner Vale has just been amazing on track today. That car is so fast. And it's been passing everyone. He's really happy with the way the 12 car has been on track. Watch out, we got a little bit of a stack up. RJ Bishop got into the back of car number 12. Hopefully that didn't throw off the alignment. Nope, looks like he's sitting pretty. Speaking of the alignment, let's check where Bartella is. He's back in 15th with that Very high-strung race car. Enrage, 16th. He's really dropped off Enrage, and I think it might be because of that contact. He said that the car really hasn't been the same since Bartel got into the back of him. So he was hoping to impress the hometown crowd, but looks like it's going to be a little more work for him. Max now back near the tail end of the field. Silver Fox still desperately trying to catch up. Doesn't look like he'll be able to get a good finish out of this one unless some people start pulling out. Now Jackie Tang needs to watch out since Dan Bandon is the leader and starting to catch up to him. However, Tang does have fresh tires, so Tang might be safe for now. Bandon still keeps it out front. We are currently 38 laps into this event. There's not a set lap counter, it just depends on how long it takes to get to the 3-hour mark. We're currently a little under an hour and 20 minutes into the event, since we have to subtract 5 minutes from that clock, since 5 minutes from that was pre-race. We might have the start of a battle between Alex Hawkins and Logan York, since Hawkins has caught up to Logan York, might be able to get by him. York has not been the fastest car on track, and he says that it's running okay, but it's not a dynamo of the Sebring circuit. Can Hawkins make it past going into the turn? Nope. He actually bobbles a little bit there to make sure he doesn't check up into the 21. Tanner Sullivan making a go at it again. RJ Bishop makes some contact with Conner Vale again, though not as bad this time. Bishop's got to be a little careful going into that turn. He doesn't want to wreck himself or some other drivers out of it just yet. Sean Galligan dropped down the 14th after pitting with Conner Vale. He hasn't had the speed that Conner Vale has had, despite being relatively good on track. So things have been relatively quiet on the circuit, other than... Oh no, we have, as I say that, 2 cars in the grass. James Qualls in the wall. And Zachary Fitzwater almost comes on track in front of Sean Galligan. They were just 2 bunched up, they made contact, and James Qualls, who had one of the best cars earlier in the race, looks like they're done. The axle is snapped on that machine. We've gone to the helicopter cam. James Qualls, what a disappointment. He was running so well today, running a high of 2nd place on track. He was one of the few cars that could actually run close to Conner Vale, and he is out of the race. They have to bring the backup car out so they can attempt the next segment. But that already lessens their chances for victory, because if Dollarton or Kyle Collins has an issue, then they are done for the entire event. So, what a shame. James Qualls, so confident going into today's event. They were hoping they could raise a lot of money. Now they're going to have to be a little more careful in the next couple events. They really can't go all out and get those segment bonuses to add to the fun. So Dan Bandon out near the front. He's all by himself since York has been keeping the rest of the top 5 occupied. Close call from all 3 of them going in there. We also have to watch out for these guys. Alyssa Kirby back into 5th place, able to get around Joshua Michaels. Michaels still holding his own pretty well. Oh no, we have more trouble. Biggie Spencer and Sean Galligan both make some contact and go spinning. Whoa, 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 watch out, Biggie. Either he or his spotter failed him on that one, since he just pulled on track in front of Zachary Fitzwater, who's already had enough trouble this past lap. So, already 2 incidents in the span of 1 lap's time. And just remember, we're almost halfway through this segment. We're not, and also just keep in mind, we have 24 hours in this race, and we've only been through about 1.5 hours. So you do not want to go wrecking just yet. And already, 4 drivers have pulled out of the event. There's Quall sitting with his broken race car on pit road. He's out of the car, and he is done for today. Alex Hawkins trying to make a pass on Logan York. Will he be successful in that endeavor? York is not going to go down without a fight. it looks like he'll be able to do it, as it looks like Tanner Sullivan heads down pit road. Anyone else went down pit road other than him? No. Oh wait, yes, Dan Bandon has gone down pit lane. This gives Alex Hawkins the race lead. It was a battle to the line. I don't know how we didn't notice. He was just so far ahead. Probably didn't see him. There's Alyssa Kirby, Conner Vale, Sean Gallagher rounds out the top 5. I think that Joshua Michaels head down. Yes, he did. And RJ Bishop as well to fix some damage to the nose of that 26 machine. Eric Enrage on track. What happened to there's Colin Bartel. He's running right behind Biggie Spencer. Spencer even slower now that he made some contact with Zachary Fitzwater. Bartel looks like he's going to try and make the pass in that 81 car. So going into the tight turn, you got to watch out though. Don't want to make any more contact. Looks like everyone made it through that turn fine that lap. But looks like these drivers are starting to get a little impatient, making some risky maneuvers that have resulted in some tragedy. Let's look at James Silverfox. He's moved his way up on track a little bit, up to 15th. I think he might get a few more positions because some drivers pitted. Though I don't think he'll catch up to Joshua Michaels, who has fresh tires right in front of him. Michaels dropped from 5th all the way down. Oh, sorry, that's Tanner Sullivan. My mistake. There's a couple of red, white, and blue cars out on track today. It's kind of hard to keep track of all of them. So let's head back to the front, see if anyone decides to head down pit road. As Hawkins has a race lead that's starting to gain a bit on Logan York. He's going to go down pit road. So will Logan York. Alyssa Kirby back out front in car number 83. But Conner Vale is right on her tail. And Vale's on her tail. So Conner Vale is going to try and take the lead away from Alyssa Kirby. Vale, I believe, has fresher tires. And by the lap times, Vale has gained 3 seconds on Alyssa Kirby just that last lap. It's already moved it down a couple of car lengths going into the second turn. I think this could be a short-lived lead for Alyssa Kirby if Vale can get around her. Any more issues on track just to look through? Not really. As we head toward that tight turn, Conner Vale drives it in deep. Wobbles it a little bit, but still in close proximity. Look at Sean Galligan. He was a little while away from Conner Vale, but he's starting to catch up. He's actually running times faster than Conner Vale. So Galligan may have come to life in the second half of segment number 1, as we're about an hour and 25 minutes into the segment. Vale needs to get by Alyssa Kirby. He's trying everything. He wants to use up as much of the racetrack as he can, but Alyssa Kirby is trying to block him at every route possible. Going into the paved over segments of this course. If you go off the track here, it's a little more leeway since it's not going to slow you down like some grass. You also don't have to worry about rocks like out in the field. Here is Sean Galligan. Galligan driving pretty hard. He decided to use up more than the racetrack to catch up to Conner Vale. Kirby's still in the lead, but will she pit this lap? Have to see. Can that car go down pit road, or is she going to try and stay up front and hold off Conner Vale some more? She will stay on track as Sean Galligan encroaching ever closer to Conner Vale. Let's see what the lap times are like. Galligan so much faster than both of the top 2 cars. He has a good chance of catching up near the front. They're running in such close proximity. It all depends on who can make the move first. Let's see, that's Zachary Fitzwater in 4th place. You know, despite getting involved in that incident, having a great effort. Same with Colin Bartel, who sits in 5th place overall. Eric Enrage in 6th, so some pit stops help them out. Coming down to the tight turn, you gotta watch out because these guys are a little bunched up. Oh, contact is made! Hard contact between Galligan and Vale. But that's not going to deter him. Did that do anything to his chassis, though? Because that's one of the big issues. When you make a contact hit like that in these fragile race cars, there is an opportunity that for something to go wrong, as he's already driving it off the racetrack a little bit. You lost a little ground on him. Galligan got a little too aggressive there, and it might hurt him a bit. But it also helped Alyssa Kirby, as Vale kept off the back of her for a while. Going into some rough territory, Ian Dutta on pit road. He's making a scheduled stop. We don't see any more issue going on near the back there, despite some tire marks on the edge of the hairpin. Galligan just doesn't know when the racetrack ends. He just drives it off into the grass to try and catch up. But this is actually honestly hurting him. The 15 car has been losing mostly in that turn. But look at this. He's going to make a huge gain going in to the final turn, going into the front straightaway. What's the Kirby? Still keeping it out on track. Not going to give it up just yet. Let's take a look a little further back, see if we can talk about any notable drivers. James Silverfox currently sitting in 10th place. Now, he's off cycle, but if he can keep in this position when the race ends at the 3-hour mark, he may be in line for a good starting position for his teammate Kenny Myatt. We haven't really gone through the drivers on this team. Kenny Myatt is going to take over for the next round. Noah Hart is going to be the tertiary driver. So Silver Fox trying to pick up the pieces of a day that didn't go as planned. As we have a battle back here between RJ Bishop and Stephen Pollard III. Not for a really worthwhile position. They were going for 15th. But still a battle nonetheless. As Pollard might be able to get it with the preferred line. Let's make sure near the front there was a position change or not. Still no position change as Sean Galligan making a pass underneath Conner Vale. Can he do it? Can Galligan pull out to the lead in a race that Conner Vale has just been so dominant in? Yeah, Alyssa Kirby has the difficulty now of double wide cars behind her. Who is she going to block? She decides to block Conner Vale. As our camera gets blocked off by a sign over there. I don't know why they placed the camera over there. But no, Kirby's going to lose it to 2 drivers, and Sean Galligan goes into the race lead. Maybe this car will be a little faster up in the front than it will be in 3rd place. And look at that, already starting to pull away from Conner Vale. Either Conner Vale did not make a good adjustment, or Sean Galligan made a great adjustment on their last pit stop. In fact, I think it might be the latter, since Conner Vale didn't adjust anything. So Galligan, that team knows how to improve this race car. Alyssa Kirby decides to call it quits and head down pit road to try and bring that car back to its former glory. Anyone else we need to talk about on track? Jackie Tang, who was the pole sitter, dropped back early on due to a cut tire. Now back inside the top 20. This has been a pretty disappointing day for Jackie Tang. He's basically been only battling Ian Dutta, who's basically the only driver that's having an issue with him. William Duncan is a couple laps down, and a couple cars have gone out of the event, so not much going on for him back there. Dan Bandon, who's been up near the front a couple times this race, sits in the 7th place position. He's the start of drivers on his cycle of pit stops. Eric Enrage, currently the last of the drivers on a cycle. I believe they're on the same cycle with it's kind of hard to say Fitzwater, since Fitzwater's been on every cycle. Fitzwater has been going down the pit road at any chance he can get. But Colin Bartell and Eric Enrage are pretty similar on their pit lane appearances. Same for Vale and Galligan. Fitzwater's been kind of a lone wolf up there near the front. And Dan Bandon leading off his group. There's Eugene DeMax, who's having a good run. Did he get by someone? Because I believe, oh wait, no, Dan Bandon was listed in 7th place, if I am not mistaken. Yeah, he was. But if we take a look, Colin Bartel in 4th place is a really impressive job, especially for a driver that apparently has a broken race car. So he's battling up there with Zachary Fitzwater. And he might be able to make the pass if he can get a good run underneath. Yeah, he's trying to go for it. Fitzwater's going to block him to it, but wait, is Fitzwater going down pit road? No, he just was cutting that turn pretty tight. No cars in the pit lane at the moment. I don't expect we'll see many cars on pit road for a little while. Unless Fitzwater decides to continue with his sporadic pit stops on this next lap. Tanner Sullivan in 9th place. James Silverfox still running out that top 10. Logan York just outside there. He's been able to hold off Alex Hawkins, but he just doesn't have the speed to compete with these other drivers. Maybe through a couple of adjustments they can work their way back up toward the front of the pack. But that's going to be John Smith's problem. I don't think they're going to be able to get up there in this round. Alyssa Kirby, who went down pit road, cycles back down to 15th place, right ahead of DJ Curtis. We need to talk a little bit about DJ Curtis. He's still complaining over the radio that this car is absolutely horrible. As it goes along, he's been calling it garbage. So Luis Hernandez is going to have a little bit of a struggle with this 3 car if it's really that bad. Any adjustments they've been trying to make have been futile, as this car has just been evil to them based on their complaints. So Curtis may take a little while to get up toward the front. He's going to have to make some hefty adjustments. Same with Biggie Spencer, who's also not happy with this race car. Though Alyssa Kirby is getting passed by DJ Curtis at the moment. I'm not sure if Curtis is either going for a pass that he considers kind of risky, or if Kirby is either having a problem or just taking it slow. But either way, they are in a battle. Can one driver overtake the other? Looks like Kirby has been faster on the straights, but DJ Curtis has been doing a little better going into the turns, especially because he has preferred line in many of these corners. He slides a little bit off the racing surface. Let's go to our television 2 camera. And this is quite a close battle. I'm still wondering where those tire marks came from, because I don't have any report or any recording of where those where someone got off track. But DJ Curtis, he might just be able to take the spot away. Drag race down the long stretch. Going to the corner. Alyssa Kirby still going to keep that lead. Galligan having the race lead on Conner Vale. It's been pulling away from him, actually. So Galligan has really done miracles with this car. The crew's head with the way they're running, and they're hoping to stay out front for as long as they can. A good starting position in the race could work wonders for them. Unless you're Jackie Tang, which stuff does not go well if you're Jackie Tang on the pole. Look at this, we got a battle between Enrage and Colin Bartel. Now, I don't know what happened. Either Fitzwater and Bartel have been slow, or Enrage and Bandon have been fast, because these two drivers, the 28 and the 18, were really far behind in the early going. They've really caught up in these past couple of laps. They might have even been saving their tires so that they could make a run like this. Enrage drives it a little wide, but he's given the hometown crowd a show as he works his way past Colin Bartel. Dan Bandon also going to capitalize on the 81. Now trying to edge his way underneath the 28, though. Looks like he doesn't have the momentum forward in this turn. Coming down to the line. Whoa, we got a lot of dicey racing back here. Watch out, fellas. You don't want to get a little too... Oh, no! Bandon has spun Enrage! And 2 cars in the wall. Enrage and Colin Bartel. They're both stalled. And they're out of the race. So contact with Dan Bandon has put 2 cars in the wall. I knew it. I probably jinxed them, but they were racing far too aggressively. And it's going to result in, I think, 2 cars are out of this race now. Zachary Fitzwater on pit road, not related to this incident. And what a shame for them. They were really hoping to have a good, especially Eric Enrage, because he just saved his tires up. He was trying to make a good run. He's going to get caught up in it. Though, let's not count out Colin Bartel, who was sitting in 4th place with a broken race car. So now we'll get the backup car, which is actually, fixed. And Matt Evans will have to give it another go. They are both left their vehicles. They were retired from this race. Galligan keeping the lead. Bandon still in 3rd place. Now we have to wonder if he got any damage from that wreck. As that was not just a small brush. Though the stewards are actually warning Dan Bandon not to pull any more stunts. I think they feel it was Bandon the cause of that, which kind of looked like it. So we're actually going to report that Eric Enrage is not too happy with the 18 car on pit road. You have to remember, though, this is a 24-hour race, so for Dan Bandon, he can't be doing this kind of stuff. Now, granted, he is considered a relative rookie to this, but you can't be going that aggressive in such an early stage of the event. We're barely about 10% through this entire race. And he's already taken 2 drivers out of the event, so not making any friends in the garage area at the moment, Dan Bandon. Conner Vale has come down pit road. He was running in 2nd place. Bandon's going to gain the spot there. Sean Galligan is still out front and posting some pretty fast lap times, so Dan Bandon about a second faster. DeMax Sullivan, Logan York up there, Alex Hawkins. Anyone else coming down the pit road that we should cover? Nope. Let's see, Alex Allen, car number 53. Currently running ahead of Zachary Fitzwater. Both of them seem to be racing pretty calmly. He's not going to catch up to Conner Vale, as Vale's going to get back out on the racetrack. These cars get up to speed relatively well, so it's not like, whoa, it looks like Fitzwater already caught up to the back bumper, might try something. He does have fresher tires. Whoa, 2 cars off the track. Ian Dutta and William Duncan. I don't know why they're racing each other so hard. They're not even on the same lap. I think for Duncan it's just a pride thing. He'll race anyone. And also Ian Dutta has a race car that he's not happy with at the moment, so Sean Galligan's actually starting to catch up to them, despite them running a little faster lap times. Ian Dutta starting to fall back. Galligan has such a huge lead over Dan Bandon. It's he's leading by about this entire straightaway and a little bit of the turn. So looks like Dan Bandon's going to have to really pick it up if he wants to catch Galligan without him pitting. DeMax and Sullivan also relatively slow compared to Galligan. So let's give us a little bit of a highlight reel of what's gone on today. Early in the going, Jackie Tang, car number 77, had the pole, but a cut tire would put him out of it early, dropping him all the way back to the 20s. Alan Cavanaro was the first victim of today. He had a mechanical issue on that 34 car. He went out only a couple laps into the race. Chris Washer was running a competitive race up front against Conner Vale, who had taken the lead against Jackie Tang. However, Chris Washer would also have issues with his machine. He would pull out of the race. Conner Vale led the majority of this event, and more trouble struck a little later on with Robbert Pieete, who was running in the top 5. He had a gearbox problem. James Qualls also had a great car today, sitting up there near the top 3. He would get put out by a wreck between him and Zachary Fitzwater. Fitzwater would keep it running. Fitzwater and Alyssa Kirby both have had great runs today. They've been running up near the front and giving Conner Vale a run for their money. Also, Sean Galligan has come to light in the past couple of laps, and he's been your leader for the most part. We had one more wreck occur before the highlight reel started, and that was an incident between Dan Bandon, Colin Bartel and Eric Enrage that resulted in Enrage and Bartel losing their rides for today, and Eric Enrage was enraged by it. So that does it for your race recap for what's been going on so far. We are currently an hour and 43 minutes into the show. I think now's about the time we should go for through the field, see what these drivers are doing. Sean Galligan's in first place, and he's been leading for the recent majority of this event, though Conner Vale's been on track for most of it. Galligan's happy with the way this race car is, and he says it gets better every lap, so Galligan might have something that will be flawless by the end of the race. Dan Bandon is in second place. He will, he's starting to catch up a little bit to Sean Galligan, but he still has a long ways to go on track to catch up. Bandon has already made a couple of enemies on track with the 12th Man Racing Team and the DHL Enrage Motorsports team. So Bandon's going to have to watch his back when he heads to the garage area at the end of this 3-hour stint. Tanner Sullivan in third place, giving the 14 car a good run. He's definitely improved throughout the day. He started off the race running near the tail end of the field, but at the current moment, he sits pretty in third place. And fourth is Logan York in car number 21. Considered one of the long shots to win this event. Still having a great run on that 21 machine. He's saying that the car is not especially fast, but it's been consistent. It's been staying up near the front. Alex Hawkins, car number 67, runs out your top 5. He's having a great effort despite not being considered a road race ace. He still has to hand it over to the professionals of Anthony McCrory and Ralph Mason. So I think the 67 car could be one to watch out for near the tail end of the race. James Silverfox in 6th place. He's been staying out for a long while to make sure he can get position. And for a driver that he thought was going to finish outside the top 20, he's having a great run sitting in 6th place. And it's been due to conservation and sporadic pitting. Or should I say, seldom pitting, my mistake. Joshua Michaels just made the pass for position on Alyssa Kirby. He's going to take the 7th place position. Joshua Michaels doing a good job with his lessons that he got from his mentor. And he was definitely hoping that Senpai noticed him. Joshua Michaels having a great effort today in that car number 7. Alyssa Kirby in 8th place has been up front for a couple times this race and is making a pass on Joshua Michaels. A very aggressive pass, if I should say so myself, as she made a little bit of contact with the 7, but she's going to keep it out front. Well, not out front of the field, but ahead of Joshua Michaels. Alyssa Kirby happy with the way this race car is going, and she says she's feeling fine behind the wheel, so a lot going good for that team. RJ Bishop in 9th place. Started out the race pretty good, but fell back to the back. He's been alternating between the front and the tail end. There has really been no middle ground for RJ Bishop. Current moment, 9th place is a good run for him. He's hoping that he can survive it and hand it over to Jordan Culp for next round. Rounding out your top 10 is DJ Curtis, car number 3. He's been complaining about this car, saying that's been evil, but as current moment, sitting in the top 10 isn't that bad. As whoa, he gets some contact made. He gets pinched between Bishop and Spencer. Speaking of Spencer, Biggie Spencer is now taking the 10th place spot away from DJ Curtis. This car has not been one that others have been looking to for technical wizardry. But Biggie Spencer says he's having fun out there, and he's been able to keep this car in the race, so he's definitely a keeper for the team. He's running for SNR Motorsports, which they hope that their small operation can go up against some of the big teams. In 12th place, we have Stephen Pollard III, driving car number 41, having a decent run so far. He's been up as high as 3rd place on track. It's been a while since he's been up there now, but he's hoping that he can gain something from this, as this big pack of cars is going to go into the final turn. Conner Vale, who has led the most laps today, currently back in 13th place. This car has fallen off during the race, and also I think he had a little bit of contact made with him by Sean Galligan. So he said that the handling's been a little bit off. They might need to come back down pit road sometime to fix it all up, make it good. But right now, 13th isn't too bad. He just needs to pick it up if he wants a better starting position for segment 2. Zachary Fitzwater looked to be the ace at the beginning of the race. He had such a good race car, and it was a maestro at managing his tires. But things have kind of trailed off a bit. Maybe it could be because of some damage he got in that wreck with James Qualls. But things have not been horrible for Fitzwater. He sits in 14th. He still has time to catch up. Though, we have some... DJ Curtis got punted off the racetrack. He's going to lose a couple spots. Conner Vale back in gear, trying to work his way up. You got to watch out here. Oh no! Biggie Spencer's going to make some contact into the back. Oh man, I hope that doesn't tear up his race car. Bit of an irresponsible move. As we continue through the field, Eugene DeMax is in 15th place. The South Korean has been mostly near the tail end of the field, but had one good run racing with Alyssa Kirby. The car has dropped off again, and he's not happy with the way it's running at the moment. However, there's still time in this race for him to catch back up. Jackie Tang, currently running in 16th. Looks like someone might have gone down pit road. Do we have any idea who that was? It was Alex Allen. But Jackie Tang, despite the poor run he's had so far, he's happy that he's still in the race and that he's able to keep this car ready for Brandon Krasta to bring to the field. Kyle Thomas is also on their team, so they have some driving. I don't really know what Brandon Trasta has done in his career, but let's hope that he's a road racer. Fellow Californian with Jackie Tang. William Duncan is a lap down. Ian Dutta sitting in 17th place. He's not happy with the way this car is running. He's just keeping it easy, making sure that this 2 car can survive to the end. Wouldn't it be something if he ended up winning the entire 24 hours after complaining so much in the first segment? Alex Allen, currently running in the 18th position. He just went down pit road to get some fresh tires and some fuel. He's happy with the way his car is running. He hasn't been a front runner, but he said that this car could be a lot worse. So the Charbroil machine, not doing too bad. And wait a second, has Galligan gone down pit road? Yes, he has. Galligan has made a pit stop. So Dan Bandon out front by a huge margin over Logan York, who sits in 3rd place. Wondering if there's any other drivers that made the stop down pit road. Alyssa Kirby is actually going to be inside the top 4. So congratulations to her. Biggie Spencer, 5th place right now. Started last, and despite running into the back of a couple drivers, this car is actually running relatively well. So he really lucked out there. You don't want to wreck up these cars too much. So that was the field rundown. As you see Eugene DeMax going around that turn, a little sketchy like. William Duncan's the only car that's off the lead lap. He's in 19th. We've had a total of 6 drivers pull out of this race. They will all be able to come back in the next segment. None of them are gone for good. As we are actually starting to approach the 2-hour mark. So these drivers will have a 1-hour remaining call from their crew chief once they cross the line there. Still have a little bit of time. We're about 10 minutes away from that. Trying to find some good battles on the racetrack. I think the closest would probably have to be Jackie Tang and James Silverfox, unless I'm missing something. Let's scroll around through the field. No takers to pit road. Here's a good battle. Sean Galligan and Stephen Pollard. But Pollard's going to head down pit road early, and I think another car did as well. Who could that be? That's Biggie Spencer. So Spencer's going to give up his top 5 position to fix some damage on that car. Zachary Fitzwater up to 7th on track, making a huge improvement to where he was a little earlier in the race. So maybe he can catch back up and get back into the race lead. As now it looks like it's the Dan Bandon show, as Logan York really has nothing for him, despite being 2 seconds faster. we scroll through the rest of the field, everything's pretty spaced out at the moment. Jackie Tang pitting from 15th. RJ Bishop apparently went down pit road. Here's a battle between Alex Allen and Ian Dutta. It's going to go to Alex Allen since Ian Dutta has been relatively off pace. He hasn't been able to keep up with these leaders, and his fast times have been much earlier in the event. So Dan Bandon out front, Logan York in second, Hawkins third, Kirby fourth, and Conner Vale, which is the driver that everyone's fearing on track, sits in fifth in that black number 12. So what I think we'll do is we'll head to a quick commercial break. We'll be back for the last hour of the 24 hours of Sebring. Dan Bandon is your leader. We'll be back. Hello, and we're back. And there is a change up front. Logan York is in the race lead. So you're probably wondering what happened there. Well, Dan Bandon decided to come down pit road. We'll have to see if he pits again throughout this race. Probably will. We still have an entire hour to go. But Logan York, who many were not expecting to be up near the front, is currently up near the front. And Ian Dutta has actually gone a lap down to the 21 machine, so Dutta is the second car to fall off the lead lap. Has anyone else ended up pulling off the lead lap other than the 9? It doesn't appear so. So Logan York in the lead. Will he head down pit road this lap? The second place driver is Alex Hawkins. So Hawkins can end up getting back up front if he so chooses. Logan York still staying out on track. And this is going to be a run that will impress some people. As again, we went to Las Vegas earlier to tally up the Vegas odds, and Logan York's odds are not very high. So the idea that he's up near the front means some of these drivers are going to be like, whoa, maybe we should consider Logan York for some stuff. He knows how to get that car around this track, especially up against some high talent. See, Ian Dutta is another good, talented driver, and he was able to lap him. If we look up near the front, Sean Galligan is back into the picture. He's starting to catch up to Conner Vale again, so Galligan may still have a shot at the end of this segment. And we're starting to close in at the exact moment of the 2-hour mark. There's Kirby, Zachary Fitzwater also up there. Eugene DeMax and Tanner Sullivan are currently in a battle for position, as Sullivan trying to make it by the 19. Sullivan's been a little quicker than DeMax, but that's not stopping DeMax from trying to keep him behind. I'm also curious as to where car number 7 went, where he is on track. Wait a second, I don't see the 7 car on the racetrack. Uh-oh. Not sure what happened to him. But let's see, what's the we have to see where William Duncan is on track. He's 17th. So if he's the last place car on the circuit, that means 8 cars have gone out of the race. Uh-oh, looks like we have a change. Let's see if we can find out what happened to that 7 car while we were away on break. Well, it looks like the wreck happened when Joshua Michaels was a little late getting to pit road, crashed into the pit wall. DJ Curtis gets involved, and it's going to take both of those drivers to the garage. So, looks like they are done for today. As we come back, Logan York is going to head down pit road. This gives the lead to Alex Hawkins. Conner Vale and Sean Galligan following close behind. I think, yep, Alyssa Kirby has gone down pit road. And Fitzwater is going to stay on the track. So a lot of our drivers that have been normally up near the top of the field are still there. As Hawkins, I don't think, has enough to hold back the onslaught of Conner Vale and Sean Galligan. We're about a minute away from going to 1 hour remaining. So this is definitely a testament to these drivers. They've not run longer than the event that was run by Anthony McCurry, who shares the 67 machine. That was a 2.4-hour event at the Le Mans circuit in France. But we might be able to reach that today. We have to beat 2 hours and I believe 20 minutes. So once we get to the 2:25:53 mark, we will have met it, and the race will have officially beaten that in length. So impressive effort for all these drivers out here today, because this is definitely a test on their driving abilities and survival abilities on track. York and Kirby rejoined the circuit behind RJ Bishop, so they'll be 14th and 15th. Silver Fox still running inside the top 10, despite being relatively far back and out of sequence. So Silver Fox may not have anything for the victory, but like we've said, he may have something for the end of this race if he can just stay up there. Alex Hawkins, the gap is now none, as Conner Vale on his back bumper looking to make the pass, diving underneath, going to turn 1, and he'll do it. Can Sean Galligan get by? Galligan will as well. And Alex Hawkins decides it's time to head down pit road. So now Conner Vale in the lead. Can Sean Galligan catch up like he did before and pass the 12 machine? Or on that pit stop, did Conner Vale make an adjustment that fixed his car all right again, since he did get knocked into a little earlier going into the hairpin? So just so you know, with William Duncan being a lap down, he is currently, if I can find him, I don't seem to see him. Let's find William Duncan. He's currently sits 17th, so that means 8 drivers have pulled out of this race so far. Half due to the mechanical issue, half due to incidents. So 17 drivers still remaining on track for the remainder of this circuit. Is Ian Dutta off the lead lap? He's gotten back onto it with the pitting of Logan York, but Conner Vale might be able to catch up to him again. Galligan trying everything to get by him. Now, if you remember earlier in the event, Sean Galligan gave a pretty violent run to get by he and Alyssa Kirby. So I wonder if Galligan's going to use up the entire racetrack again as we head into a very technical area of the circuit. Galligan decides that roads are for losers. He decides to run it off track a little bit. Keeps on track over here though, which is unlike the rest of his runs. See if we can find a battle on the racetrack, or is everything still pretty spread apart? Let's see, that's a relatively close battle. Yeah, there really isn't much in the way of battles on this racetrack. So we'll head back toward Biggie Spencer and Stephen Pollard III. I believe Alex Hawkins is, no sorry, that's RJ Bishop, trying to catch up to it as well. So Biggie Spencer trying to hold off Pollard III. Both of them, I don't think they have much experience in open wheel cars, so they're about evenly matched. Spencer, a small-time short-track racer. Pollard III, a speedway ringer. Both trying their hands here today at the 24-hour event. And both of them have some decent teams on their side. None with a lot of road racing experience, but they definitely have some good drivers on them. Let's go back to the front where Sean Galligan has caught up to Conner Vale. Trying to make a pass. We do have less than an hour remaining in this race. About 56 minutes. So it is go time for the segment. Well, I wouldn't say go time just yet. I would say probably in the last half hour, you want to be up near the front. Okay, that's where it's all going to be decided. Can Galligan work some magic and make it by Conner Vale in car number 12? Current moment, no, as he's starting to fall back a little bit. Times have been about even, so let's take a look at the helicopter cam. Nice helicopter cam. We haven't gotten to use the helicopter cam very much, so let's take a look above as they go around this winding circuit. This is the long back straightaway. This is on the opposite end of the start-finish line. See, a lot of the haulers are parked down there. Probably wondering why there's so many. We have more. There's more than 25. Well, before this race started, there was a small event for a completely different series that ran here. So some of the haulers are still there, watching the race. But if you can get past the helicopter blades going at it, take a look at what these drivers have to go through on this race circuit. Down through the turn 1. Now this section here is where you'll get a lot of wrecks in the early stage of this event, because it's a lot of really tight turns that kind of difficult to navigate. Going through that segment kind of jostles the car around as they continue. Down this stretch, Galligan losing a little bit of time. They go through the hairpin turn, which, Galligan's going to get to the back bumper from a little bit. There's another road there that I hope they don't use on the racetrack. That would be a really tight turn if so. But they snake their way around the track. Go through that turn. And we head close to about where we started. They still have a couple more turns to navigate through. As we'll get out of the helicopter cam, get back to the racing surface, check on track for any more battles. Alex Allen and Alyssa Kirby running close together. Kirby not making any passes just yet. I think she wants to keep her tires safe. Doesn't want to waste it all too soon. Just got to make sure she doesn't go into that turn a little too heavy. Dan Bandon, we've mentioned a couple times during the race, he's been one of the front runners. Currently running in 6th place. Now remember, he's off cycle to the leader, so if something happens that requires him to pit earlier than him, he will have a chance to go for the race lead. Take a look a little further back. It's been kind of hard with 24 hours. You have to start coming up with a lot of fun facts from these drivers, and we've been cycling through these guys for a while. It's kind of hard to report. Jackie Tang we'll talk about quickly. Currently sitting in 15th. This has really been the highest he's been since he lost the lead. So, I mean, 15th isn't a horrible position to start, but remember, when we start off segment 2, he's going to be in the middle of the pack with a lot of drivers running like a hornet's nest down into the hairpin. So maybe not the most optimal position to be. You would probably want to be either tail end of the field or up front, but the middle seems kind of risky. William Duncan, despite being off the lap, only 2 spots behind him. Ian Dudd is in 16th. So the thing that's really helped these drivers is the amount of drivers going out of the event. Since if it wasn't for them, they'd be starting in the 20s for the next segment. Galligan still trying to catch up to Conner Vale, just hasn't been able to do it these past couple of laps. Looks a little low, but still unable to make that pass. Almost to 2 hours and 10 minutes. We're currently at 2 hours and 9 minutes as these drivers make it through the final turns of the racetrack. Let's see if we can go around here, find some drivers that are in traffic. How about RJ Bishop? We're going to go, we'll wait till we get to the line. We'll do the next lap where we have a good battle between drivers. We'll go with Sean Galligan, why not? So on this lap, we will go to the cockpit of the car. We'll go to the roof cam, actually. See what these drivers see when they are on the track going around. And we'll take a silent lap quick to see what they see. we look a little further back after we just took that nice drive around the racetrack. Take a look at this battle between Eugene DeMax and the 18 of Dan Bandon. They're battling for the 5th place position. They still got a little ways to go to catch up to the front, but at least DeMax is able to get a good run in this late section of the race. Let's head back up a little more, see if Sean Galligan has gotten any closer to Conner Vale. Not completely, but he hasn't lost much ground. Going into the hairpin turn, still trying to work through underneath, but oh, Galligan does not get a good entry. He's going to lose a little bit of time on Conner Vale. Ian does, still last car in the lead lap. Have another close battle here between Alyssa Kirby and Alex Allen. They're right on each other's tails. Also, right ahead of them, there is Stephen Pollard III battling RJ Bishop. So a lot of 2-car battles. Logan York versus Biggie Spencer. Alex Hawkins versus James Silverfox. And then Bandon versus DeMax. So mostly 2-car battles with not a lot of passing going on at the moment. As we look back here, Jackie Tang trying to get around the lap car of William Duncan. No cars on pit road at the moment. If you just look at how big this gap is between Sullivan and the leaders. We're starting to close in toward the McCurry mark, as I like to call it, where we officially beat the record for longest race. So here we go. It looks like we have more of a between the tussle of Hawkins and Silverfox. And Silverfox trying to hold off the position. Not going to work. Alex Hawkins is going to get by. Steal 7th place away. And look at this. Dan Bandon getting around Eugene DeMax, and he's going to work his way into the top 5. But Eugene DeMax trying to do the crossover move coming into the turn. Just doesn't have enough speed, and Dan Bandon's going to start to pull away. He's got a great car, so he could probably factor if he can just catch up to these leaders. Conner Vale still holding off. Sean Galligan, not much of a change up near the front. Running about as close as they've been running for the past couple of laps. Galligan is antsy for this lead, though. He's been talking about over the rail how he just wants to get by him. His crew chief's telling him, keep calm, just hit your marks. You'll be able to get by Conner Vale. See if they go through the hairpin. Neither of them get a particularly good entry. That's a good passing zone for these drivers. Same with the second half of the course. Let's move it back. It looks like Silverfox has basically lost Hawkins. Logan York and Biggie Spencer battling for that 9th place position. They both round out the top 10. Still a while back to Pollard. Alyssa Kirby's already ran away from Alex Allen and has joined this 2-car battle, make it a 3-car battle. Kirby is one of these drivers you got to watch out for in the late stages, as she might be able to come back if these drivers need to pit one more time, which, based on all odds, they will need to come down pit road one more time. As we still have 45 minutes left in this race. This could be a good battle if Kirby can just circumvent these 2 drivers. Start closing in on the top 10. Let's take a look at Zachary Fitzwater in 4th place. He dropped off near the midsection of the race, but he is starting to come back. He has good seating on track. However, if you look at these lap times, it looks like Tanner Sullivan is actually the quickest car in the top 5. So Tanner Sullivan could actually be a surprise winner of this segment if he can just keep eating away at the lead. Oh, Conner Vale has come down pit road. That's going to give Sean Galligan the race lead. Now Galligan just feels like Conner Vale was testing his patience, since Vale was planning on going down pit road anyways. But Galligan will end up in the race lead. Tanner Sullivan is in 2nd place. Oh, looks like Fitzwater's gone down. And I think that was a smart move, as I was about to say. He is a little low on his tire wear. He should replenish it. But now the question is, pitting at this point in the race, can they make it to the end? Because we still have about just a little under 45 minutes in this event. That's still a long ways away. As now Alex Hawkins is trying to pass Eugene DeMax. I think Eugene DeMax is out on old tires, as he is significantly slower, about 5 seconds slower than the 67 car as of that last lap. Meanwhile, Tanner Sullivan eating into the lead. Has 2 seconds behind. York and Spencer still battling it out. It looks like, did Kirby move up a spot? Yeah, it looks like Pollard went down pit road. There he is. Any things happening on the racetrack? Thought that was Ian Dutta for a second. So right now this is the closest battle on the racetrack. Hawkins versus DeMax, and one of the more exciting ones is near the front. That's Tanner Sullivan slowly eating away at that race lead. As we head through the paved over section. See if Alex Hawkins can make the pass. He's starting to lean in underneath, but I'm not exactly sure if he can get it just yet. DeMax is not giving him really much of the preferred line. Let's check back to see what the times are for Galligan and Sullivan. In fact, they've gotten closer, so I think Tanner Sullivan may have used up his tires a bit in trying to catch up to Vale and Galligan. But now the big question is, when will they pit? And will Conner Vale need to pit again, since he has pit very early? I don't see anyone else. Oh, hey, who's going down pit road? That's Eugene DeMax. I think that was a relatively smart move by him. Just much like Fitzwater, he was starting to run low on tires. So might as well get those beefed up. Maybe make a run at it near the end. RJ Bishop heading down. Vale's all good. He doesn't need to make another stop. Fitzwater. William Duncan. Jackie Tang. In fact, Jackie Tang, him being in 14th right now, this is the highest he's been since he's had his troubles, so Tang is slowly making a comeback, but he's still quite a ways behind. And again, terribly off cycle. So I don't really see it coming together just yet. Tanner Sullivan still trying his best to close the gap on Sean Galligan. If he wins the segment, he gets a monetary bonus. Since this is a one-off race, it's not a part of a series. It's not like he's going for points or anything. But he just wants to get that extra money and to get a good starting spot for the next race. The pole would be a good place. Unless you're Jackie Tang, as we mentioned. So he's hoping to get Jason Trost that good position. Sean Galligan's hoping to help Nick Pericles out by getting him the pole for segment 2. As we take a look on track, see if any other doings are happening. Doesn't seem so. It seems a lot of these drivers are pretty spread out. We can check to see what the times are for Galligan and the 14 of Sullivan. Yep, looks like actually Galligan was fast that lap, so Sullivan has used up his tires. So pushed it a little too hard. Well, that was a worthy cause. Dan Bandon is a little faster than the leaders. So if he just keeps consistent, he might be able to catch up in a couple laps. Alex Hawkins is one of the fastest of the top 5. He has some of the fresher tires. James Silverfox in 5th place. Great effort for him, despite the troubles he had near the start of this event. I don't even think we consider him to be a backmarker anymore. He's definitely up there with the main crowd. And he has a possible chance of winning this race. So we'll see if Silverfox can get it done. Spencer and York still locked in that battle. That doesn't seem to be going anywhere. Both of them really want to keep their position, and they don't want to wreck themselves this late in the first segment. So that raises a big question for these drivers. Do you play it safe, keep your position, or do you just go all out and try and take it so you can get the good starting spot for the next segment? If I were doing it, I would probably say wait on it a little bit, because the good starting spot is grand and all, but it's not at the expense of wrecking your primary car, where you could start much worse. So, I mean, that's just me. If I was in a position where I could be up there, maybe near the front, I might go for it. So if I was Galligan, Sullivan, Bandon, or Hawkins, they all look like they're in good standing to maybe take the win. I would maybe go all out there. Conner Vale maybe could go all out since he's had such a fast car all day. But everyone else, I would try and play it safe to make sure that you keep it in there. Like Fitzwater's already overrun that turn. So I'm not sure if that will affect his car in any way. Hopefully not. He's gone this long without too much issue. He did get into quals earlier. As Conner Vale is going to go with the blast to the front strategy, as he's just worked his way around the 53. He's trying to set his sights on Alyssa Kirby, who's still having a great effort in 8th place. Big E Spencer is getting passed by Logan York. York's tired of waiting. He's going for it, and Logan York's going to beat him to the line. York has had the faster car for the past couple of laps, but I think he was just saving it. He didn't want to wreck himself trying to pass Big E Spencer. Sullivan was faster that last lap. Maybe Galligan's used up his tires too. And look at that, Alex Hawkins has caught up to Dan Bandon. And I think Hawkins might put Bandon on his list of drivers to pass now. Gets a little wide coming out of that segment of the course, but still in striking distance of Dan Bandon. If the two leaders of Sullivan and Galligan pit, this could be the battle for the win, so we will have to see. We have currently done 2 hours and 23 minutes. So I think we can safely say we have beaten the 2.4 hours of Le Mans, so we are now officially the longest race. So congratulations to everyone here for being a part of it. Jackie Tang on the pit lane. Galligan and Sullivan are combining their efforts. I just want to point out, as we start getting toward the close of this event, if you want to catch the coverage for segment number 2, that will be on the Joseph Ernesto channel. The link will be in the description. He will have coverage of part 2. We'll have to see what he does with it and see what kind of action occurs in the next round. Jackie Tang is actually going to fall off the lead lap as he's going to take a slightly longer pit stop. I think they're trying to make an adjustment of some kind. So he falls off the lead lap. I think Ian Dutta might be... No, Ian Dutta's on the lead lap still. He's actually going to get by Jackie Tang because of it. Near the front, Sullivan's actually been picking up, so maybe he was just conserving there. Maybe the tires aren't shot. Meanwhile, Hawkins and Bandon still going at it. Silver Fox still sits 5th. York, Spencer, Kirby, Vale, Fitzwater. As we see Alex Allen making his way towards pit road. Eugene DeMax still on track in 12th. Then we have Stephen Pollard III, who's falling quite a ways back. RJ Bishop. Ian Dutta is the last car on the lead lap. So 15 cars on the lead lap. 2 cars a lap down. 8 cars out of the event. At least for this segment. All 8 of those drivers will be coming back for the next round in backup cars. But with a slightly more risky approach to things. Well, I mean, probably a safer approach for them. It's going to be more of an uphill battle for those 8 cars that have already gone out in this segment. Just to show you what a wild segment this was, despite some periods of time where we've had just a lot of single-file racing. 8 cars going out, 4 due to wrecks. Here's one of the closer battles on track at the moment. Biggie Spencer, who is a little slower than Kirby and Vale. Alyssa Kirby, who's been running a pretty fast pace all day. And Conner Vale, who's been blowing drivers out of the water in that 12 car. He's trying to work his way back up to the front. As we only have 25 minutes left to go in the segment. Hawkins has made it past the 18 of Dan Bandon, so he's going to take the 3rd place position. And look at that, Galligan and Sullivan go down pit road. So does Dan Bandon. This gives Alex Hawkins the race lead. But now he has to be careful, since the rest of these drivers all have fresh tires. They're all going to be setting their sights on the 67. So he has to make sure he keeps a solid pace for the remaining half hour of this segment, which is still a decent amount of time. I'm not sure if he can go the full distance without making another pit stop, so he's got to really pull ahead to a lead at the moment. Logan York is his closest competitor right now, as he's now the second place car. Kirby's in third with Vale in fourth. Fitzwater rounds up the top five. Galligan and Sullivan come back on track. They have to work their way back up to the front. Dan Bandon. A couple other cars came on pit road. Excuse me. James Silverfox and Biggie Spencer. There's William Duncan, who's battling with Stephen Pollard the third. Duncan at this point is just battling with anyone just for the sake of racing. He's been a gracious backmarker for far too long in this race, as he's been a lap down since about lap 10. So the past 60 laps, he's just been playing it safe and not wrecking. I think he's gotten a little bored. His crew chief's screaming at him, but William Duncan's having some fun out there. Hopefully they can do better when Chris Louviere gets into the car. He can guide that car to a good finish. So Conner Vale is setting his sights on Alyssa Kirby, trying to make the pass. Kirby runs that turn a little wide, and this is going to give Conner Vale the opportunity to go underneath. Kirby still has the preferred line, but Vale has been much quicker. Especially if you look at those lap times, about 2 seconds faster Conner Vale has been. Gotta watch out in this section of the track. Fitzwater is also trying to make the pass on Kirby. Fitzwater was out of this race for a while, but has slowly worked his way back in, even despite that wreck. Alex Hawkins is on pit road, so now Logan York is left by his lonesome out front. Is he going to pit with Alex Hawkins so he has a car to run with, or is he going to stay on one more lap? And Risky is catching up. He's deciding to go down pit road, so he has a buddy with Alex Hawkins. This puts Conner Vale, who's led most of today, back out front. Alyssa Kirby running in second and Fitzwater third. I say we go through the field for one more time. I don't think we'll need to go through it again in the next 30 minutes, so we'll do it one more time before we start getting into the closing stages. Conner Vale is your race leader. He has led most of this race, and he's ecstatic about the way this car is running. He thinks that they can get the pole for the next segment so that Dylan Thoreau from Minnesota could have a good chance of winning that one as well. In second place is Alyssa Kirby in the 83 car, the Racing for Diabetes machine. Happy with the way that this car has been racing today, and they're definitely raising a lot of good money for a good cause. So Kirby hoping that she can win the whole thing so that the foundation can have an opportunity. In third place is Zachary Fitzwater, the Australian, who's made this top three in international fairs. There's one from each country up here. As Fitzwater is hoping to reclaim the race lead that he had for a little while earlier when he was conserving his tires, way back before the James qualifiers. As he slides off track again, he's been overrunning that turn. It's been hurting him a bit. Sean Galligan from the United Kingdom is in fourth place. He just went down pit road. They got some fresh tires and fuel. Hopefully they can catch up to the lead and maybe show their presence near the end of it all. Right behind him is Tanner Sullivan, car number 14. Was catching up to Galligan before they both went down pit road. May have a chance at it now. If he can get by Galligan and the other drivers need to pit again, he could end up in the race lead. Right behind him is Eugene DeMax. He currently sits in the 5th place position. Wait, nope, sorry, it would be the 6th place position. He was running near the back of the pack early on in this event, but things have picked up for him. Everything's looking up Eugene DeMax, and he is currently sitting 6th place. He may have an opportunity at the top 5 if some drivers need to head down pit road. Following him is Alex Hawkins, who just went down pit lane. Came out just ahead of Dan Bandon. He's going to work his way down. There's one car on pit lane. That's William Duncan. As Hawkins hoping that he can work his way back up to the front. He likes being in the lead, and it's always fun to be up there, especially near the end of the race. Dan Bandon, who led a couple times today, he knows he has a fast car. He's hoping that he can just get himself into the right position to be up front when it counts. So he still has a little while to catch back up, but he's got a fast race car that's running some good times. James Silverfox in 9th place, having a great recovery run. At first we thought he was completely done, but right now, sitting well in 9th place, he should get himself a good start, barring any trouble. And running at your top 10 is Logan York, who has really turned some heads on track today. having a great effort in the 21 machine. Let's take a look at the outside, the top 10 drivers. So the rest of the field that's currently on track. Stephen Pollard, the 3rd and 11th. He pitted early, so he's been able to work his way up through the field. I'm not sure if his strategy has worked particularly in his favor since he's not going for the win at the moment. He's hoping to at least just get into the top 10 as he is off cycle, and he's currently trying to make it by car number 9, who has been kind of a pain to him earlier in the event. Biggie Spencer in 12th place, another surprise runner in this event. Had some good runs near the front earlier in the event. He's currently in 12th, which is very humble. Alex Allen sitting in 13th in the Charbroil machine. Having an okay run. He said this car hasn't been the best, but it hasn't been terrible. So they're just trying to cart it around, get it ready for Stephen Carter to take over, who has a little more road racing experience. Jackie Tang in 4th place. Sorry, 14th place. Oh man, he's on 4th. Jackie Tang in 14th. Trying the rebound. He was able to get a little help by a lot of cars going out of this event, but he's going to need Brandon Trasta to pick things up in the next segment. Ian Dudds in 15th. He's been going between tailing the lead lap to lap down all day. Still saying that this car is not the best car he's ever run. He just came off the pit lane and is currently sitting in the 15th position. Now there's a driver that's we're missing here. There should be Alyssa Kirby's decided to come down pit road. William Duncan is sitting in 17th, but I can't think for the life of me of who is in 16th. We don't seem to have a scanner on them. I'm trying to look through my database to see who that could possibly be. And I'm not really sure who who's ahead of him at the moment. Unless there's one driver that hasn't updated the scoring for. No, that's kind of odd. I don't see. I'm trying to take track of who's missing on the racetrack at the moment, and I'm having trouble finding out who that is. Let's see. We already lost DJ Curtis. We lost Chris Washer. We already lost. Wait, is RJ Bishop gone? RJ Bishop is gone. What happened to him? Let's take a look at a quick replay to see what happened to RJ Bishop. Alright, this is what happened to RJ Bishop. He was running in 13th right behind Stephen Pollard the 3rd. Plows right into the back of his car, and that's going to mess up the entire suspension. At the end of this lap, he would pull it down pit lane, and he would be done for the day. So, it's a real shame for RJ Bishop. We're back live with the action. Alex Hawkins currently sitting in the 7th place position. Working our way back up to the front. And it is Conner Vale still in the lead. Zachary Fitzwater has moved up to 2nd after Alyssa Kirby went down pit lane. Tanner Sullivan has caught up to him. He's running a much faster lap time, so he could be the driver that wins it all at the end of segment 1. Sean Galligan sitting in 4th. He's been running relatively fast, but Sullivan's been a little faster. They made some good adjustments on that 14 machine throughout this event. Eugene DeMax rounding out your top 5. So let's take a look, see if we can find any good battles on the racetrack. And it looks like the best battle would probably have to be Tanner Sullivan going after the 11 of Zachary Fitzwater. I mean, he's got a good opportunity for it. Just needs to work his way underneath. Oh, a little dodgy. Trying to make the pass. Can he get it done? Coming out of the turn. Yes, he'll do it. Great effort by the 14 of Tanner Sullivan. Now we're closing in on 2 hours and 35 minutes into this event. So we have less than a half hour to go before we end it all today. Sullivan starting to pull away. Now let's see how his times compare to that of Conner Vale. And they're a little quicker. They're still running similar-ish lap times. They're both in the 1 minute 59 second bracket, but 0.5 of a second faster than Conner Vale. Now the thing he's got to hope for is that it isn't too late. I mean, he does have some time to go, but pit stops, if they happen, could throw stuff off. He also doesn't want to waste his tires going into the late session of the race, or else he might have to make a pit stop and lose all the progress he just got. Stephen Pollard III heads down pit road. I think he was probably fixing some damage, or he's on his old pit cycle, which is completely off from what I saw. Lissa Kirby also had an off pit cycle, and it's dropped her back to 13th. She's got to hope Elijah Iris pit in the late running of this. She could be good to the end, but I'm not sure exactly. Now the pit windows, at the very most, have been about 23 laps. Usually 22 to 25, I think, is usually the longest cycle was. So the big question is, will they make it to the end? Because I saw the low end was maybe about 17 laps. I don't know, so that's going to be the thing that could decide the win here. Pit stops. Conner Vale is definitely the fastest on the track at the moment. Well, actually, Tanner Sullivan is the fastest on the track. At least near the front of the pack. So it's basically, at the moment, a 2-car battle unless pit stops get factored in. As Fitzwater is dropped off a little bit. Galligan still trying to get the spot away from him. DeMax in 5th seems a little too far back. Alex Hawkins has been gaining too, so actually you could count him in if he can make it up there in time. Though, again, big question is he run out of time? And is he good on fuel and tires? The tire wear seems to be the big thing that's been plaguing these drivers today, since a lot of them have either had tire issues or have had the pit because they've worn out their tires. So I just want to remind you again, just in case you didn't hear the previous announcements, if you are looking for the Segment 2 coverage of this race, it'll be on Joseph Inesto's channel. It'll be in the description. He'll be giving the coverage. Before this race, he's covered a lot of, he did the Tom Tom International Touring Series. However, it has been canceled due to funding issues. He's been given the opportunity to run this race, so maybe that will spark some life back into the channel. As we look forward to that. Also, we'll talk a little more about the rest of the schedule. Segment 3 coverage will be with Anthony McCurry on the Silver Machine 9000 channel. Segment 4 will head over to Booyaka Dragon, James Silverfox channel. That will start off the night racing. We'll head over to Robbert Pieete with Tasman Dutch. He'll cover Segment 5. Segment 6 will be Seth Cole. I believe that might be the last of the night segments. And then the final 2 segments are going to be during the day. They're going to be... we're going to head back to Anthony McCurry's channel for Segment 7. And then the final segment will be right here on the Utica Home Trick Series channel. Hope you catch the entire action of this race. And I hope you enjoy it all. As we cycle around the track a little more, Conner Vale with the lead. Tanner Sullivan's got about a second on him from that last lap. We also have to check to see what Alex Hawkins is doing. He's faster than these 2 drivers, Galligan and Fitzwater. He might be able to catch up. So we're closing in on 20 minutes to go. And I will say, this has been quite the event so far. Let's give a quick race recap to tell you what's been going on. 8 drivers have pulled out of the race. Alan Cavanaro had a mechanical issue early on in the event. Other drivers that had mechanical issues were Robbert Pieete in the 35 machine. The 13 of Chris Washer also fell out due to a similar problem. Eric Enrage and Colin Bartel were both wrecked by Dan Bandon. And that was unfortunate for them. James Qualls got into a wreck with Zachary Fitzwater, who we're currently focused on, and ended up pulling out of the race there. RJ Bishop made some contact with another car that was Stephen Pollard III, and he ended up pulling out of the race. Joshua Michaels and DJ Curtis also got into a wreck. Michaels crashed into the pit lane safety barrier, and his crashing caused DJ Curtis, who was heading down pit road, to get involved with the wreck as well. There are currently only one car off the lead lap. That's William Duncan. He's 3 laps down due to some trouble he had on pit road and on the racetrack, I think. And at the current moment, there are 16 drivers still running on track. You know, this is actually going to be a good thing for... Well, wait, never mind. We were going to talk about William Duncan, but this is more important. Alex Hawkins has gotten by Sean Galligan. Now he's trying to go after Zachary Fitzwater. Can he get it done? With only 20 minutes to go, can he catch up to the lead pack? Also a battle heading on right behind him. Eugene DeMax trying to hold off Dan Bandon. Other than that, I don't see too many battles on track. Just to tell you about what we were talking about, William Duncan, he's going to move up to 16th, which really helps him out in the lineup. Same with drivers like Jackie Tang and Ian Dutta, who've been struggling all race long. They're heading toward that hairpin turn. Will Alex Hawkins be able to capitalize on it? Watch out, Galligan gets a little bit onto the back bumper of that car. See, it's hard to do some bump drafting with these cars since they're so fragile. RJ Bishop knows this all too well as he's gone out of the race due to something that happened in that turn. Hawkins a little wide, trying to make the pass there. But here comes Dan Bandon, still trying to head after Eugene DeMax. I almost had another battle on track, but I forgot that William Duncan was off the lead lap. Biggie Spencer trying to hold off that lapped car. Jackie Tang in 13th, so all these drivers going out of the race, really helping him out. Pollard in 14th, Dutta 15th. Actually, they're relatively close to being lapped. Fortunately, they're running a little faster than the leader, Conner Vale. So they may have a chance. Tanner Sullivan still eating away at the race lead that Conner Vale has. Will it be Tanner Sullivan that goes to victory lane today? Because Conner Vale had a differing pit strategy. He's still pretty fast and makes through that corner well. 2 seconds faster than the leader, which I'm really impressed with Tanner Sullivan because he's been keeping it consistent. I've never seen a driver been able to keep up this consistent of a run. So Sullivan, he's felt out the place, and now he knows which is the best way to go about this. Alex Hawkins is made up by Zachary Fitzwater, and now is starting to pull away. So he's the 3rd place driver on track. Now he is not running faster than Tanner Sullivan, but he was in lap traffic. Well, I wouldn't say lap traffic, but he was in traffic, which slowed down his lap time. So we'll have to see what he does at the end of this lap in clean air. Meanwhile, Sullivan catching up ever closer. Conner Vale sees him in the rearview mirror. He knows that Sullivan's coming. He just needs to hold him off for another, what would be 17 minutes. Can he do it? He's held off other drivers that long, but not drivers that were approaching this quickly. Sullivan, he's going to try and do this. Slowly working his way up. Big thing is just hitting his marks. Excellent use of the rumble strip. Sullivan may have something for him. Let's head back toward Alex Hawkins. He's got him in his sights. He just needs to separate like a huge gap between them. Demax and Bandit. It's actually kind of hard to tell these two cars apart. They're both running similar looking paint schemes. They are not teammates, but both of them having a similar style of race car. The big difference is the blue on the top of Demax's machine. Here we go. Sullivan to the back bumper of Conner Vale. Will be able to take it. He's got a couple of good passing opportunities, especially on the latter half of the course. Can he do it? About 15 minutes left in the segment. It all comes down to this. They've been racing for 3 hours. They also had to go through a qualifying session earlier today. Tanner Sullivan drives it in hard, but just avoids the 12 machine. He's going to try it. He's diving down to what would be his outside in this segment of the track. He's got the preferred line going into the turn. Can Sullivan do it? Sullivan does it with ease, as Conner Vale is not going to put up much of a fight. I think Conner Vale is happy with second and hopes that he doesn't wreck his car out. You know, Sullivan wants to get the pole, and he can live without that cash prize. Once Vale knows something that Sullivan does not. Alex Hawkins is still trying to catch up. And yes, his lap was faster than Conner Vale's that previous lap. So, we know that he is a viable contender. He just needs to catch up to Tanner Sullivan, who actually was a second slower than him. So, can Alex Hawkins catch up in 14 minutes? He's got a decent gap to fulfill. We also have to watch out if anyone has to pit in these last couple of minutes. At the current moment, it doesn't look like it. So, Tanner Sullivan, right near the front. He has no one in front of him. He just needs to make sure that he can make these tires and fuel last to the end. I don't think Conner Vale will actually be able to make it to the end there. I think he knows he's basically lost at the moment. He might need to come down pit road a second time, unless he's just going to try and see if he can ride before these tires end up on their rims. Take a look back at Alex Hawkins. He's still charging a path. Galligan, Fitzwater, your top 5. And it looks like Demax and Banton have both caught up to Galligan and Fitzwater. So it might be an opportunity for some of these drivers to make some big strides in terms of their starting position. It's possible for Bandon to go from 7th to 4th. Demax as well. He can go from 6th to 4th. So they're trying to catch their way up. James Silverfox, 8th place. Logan York in 9th still with a great effort. Biggie Spencer in 10th. Another astounding run for the 88 machine, who started dead last on the grid. Lisa Kirby's also picking it up on track. She's currently sitting in the 12th place position. She's we don't think she's going to get the race win, but she might be able to pick off a couple of drivers. She's been pretty fast on the circuit and running faster than Alex Allen. Tang and Pollard could be a battle for 13th. Ian Does still trying to catch up. There's Tanner Sullivan in the 14. Can he keep it out on track for the remainder of this event? Well, you have to keep checking on Conner Vale, see if he's going to head down pit lane. He's not going to do it yet. He's pretty confident. Alex Hawkins, still, we have to see if he can make it to the leader. He is running a second faster than Tanner Sullivan and running 3 seconds faster than Conner Vale. Galligan, Fitzwater, Demax, Bandon. They're all in such close proximity to each other. Galligan's actually started to work his way up to the front. Bandon is trying to make a pass underneath Eugene Demax. I think he's tired of waiting for Demax to make the move. It's up to him. Can he get it done? Well, a little squirrely in that section of the course. Some of the turns on this track I notice are really unforgiving to these drivers. There's a lot of like sudden turns. Like the most notable one is if we can find someone going into the hairpin. See, when you go into the hairpin, you go through it, and you just have no room to straighten out. You almost go right into the grass if you go through the turn. And right now, Bandon still trying to look underneath of Eugene DeMax. This is causing Fitzwater and Galligan to get away. This is something that they want to see, as they're hoping that they don't get past. Galligan's actually started to run away, so I think he was just saving his tires. I think he's going to try and push his way up toward the front. Not sure if he can win it. He might be a little late, but I think he's banking on some of these front runners heading down pit road. At the very least, Conner Vale. So look at that gap between Sullivan. There's Vale. And then there's Hawkins. And then it's pretty blank behind the 67 car. That's where Galligan would be. Sullivan's going to stay out. Will Conner Vale dive down pit road just yet? No, he will not. And I think Hawkins will be fine as well. Any position change over here? Now, because of that wreck earlier, some drivers are a little worried about Dan Bandon passing in this section of the course. See, he's already like dived way to the outside in that turn. Kirby's still having a little bit of trouble catching up with Alex Allen. Alex Allen has picked up his pace a little bit. I think he wants to keep 11th place. And that car going down pit road, I believe that's Biggie Spencer. So it looks like now that's a battle for 10th place. Oh wait, no, Alex Allen has decided to come down pit lane. Might be a good move for later on. But this means if these guys are pitting, some of these other guys are going to have to pit as well, as they started off a pit road cycle. So it's only 9 minutes left in the session. We have some drivers starting off green flag pit stops. So it begs the question, how long can these guys last? Any other takers? Will Pollard and Jackie Tang make it their way down pit road? Let's head up toward the front and see if we can find Dan Bandon. He's made it by Eugene DeMax, and James Silverfox is caught up as well. So Bandon's not done yet. Here comes Alex Hawkins, closing in on Conner Vale. Will Conner Vale pit before Hawkins can pass? Or will Hawkins just have to do it himself? He's got a good run coming down the back stretch. Will he get it done? Makes a pass underneath, and Hawkins is going to not wait for Conner Vale to go down pit road. Vale gets dropped to third. But Hawkins is going to pit. Both Hawkins and the top 3 cars have all gone down pit road. Galligan will as well. This puts Dan Bandon in the race lead. As Zachary Fitzwater pits, DeMax stays out, Silverfox pits. They've all decided to pit all at once to make sure that none of them run out at the end. I think they've done their calculations. They don't think they can make it. So it looks like Bandon and DeMax are going to be the 2 drivers that are going to try and risk it for now. Can they pull out a big enough lead so that it'll just be these 2 battling for the victory? The clock on the bottom says we only have about 7 minutes left in this session. Can Dan Bandon and Eugene DeMax keep their cars going for that long? There's William Duncan, who's off the lead lap. Alyssa Kirby has caught up to the main pack now since they've went down pit road. She sits in 4th place as Sullivan's going to come out of pit road first. 5th is Conner Vale. 6th is Alex Hawkins. So Hawkins, I think, was hoping to gain some track time by passing him early, but it looks like his crew is a little slow on their pit stop. There's Galligan, Fitzwater, Silverfox, York, Spencer, Allen, Pollard, Tang, Dutta. So currently 5 cars have Guys, go down pit road, make that 4 since Dutta has gone down. So Pollard, Kirby, Demax, and Bandon are the 4 drivers that have yet to go down pit road in this session. Now, Alyssa Kirby is way off cycle. So is Pollard. They should be able to make it to the end on fuel since they both pitted late. Bandon and Demax, though, have to worry since they're both right up near the front. And we only have 5 minutes left in this session. Ian Dutta, I think, is going to fall off the lead lap. Eugene Demax has decided to go down pit road. He's not going to risk it. So Dutta loses his lap. Jackie Tang is now the last car on the lead lap in 14th. Dan Bandon, the relative unknown. Not much racing experience going into this. This is his own team operation that has supplies coming to him from Jeffrey Finguy and also from Angel Navarro, who originally was going to enter this race as his own separate team, owned by himself. So, a bunch of entrepreneurs all together in this 18 car. They're all looking forward to getting this car up there. But, the big question, can they last? They're the only front runner, other than Alyssa Kirby, who's off cycle, to be trying to stay out this long. Can Tanner Sullivan pick up on it? Since he's now the driver, that if the 18 runs out of fuel, he will head to victory lane for segment 1 and get the pole going into the second segment. Now Ian Dutta is going to be faster in that 2 car. So Dutta might actually be able to get his lap back if he can hustle a bit. Which that would be good for him since he would be able to finish on the lead lap just in case another driver has an issue. He would be able to pick off that car. Is Bandon going to head down pit road this lap? Or is he going to stay out? He's staying out. Looks like he's going to go for the long haul until he feels that this car is going to run out of fuel. So the clock says 3:02, which means we have 3 minutes left in the segment. Can he make it that long? That's the equivalent of about 2.5 laps. Sorry, 1.5 laps. Since it takes about 2 minutes to get around this place. 2 laps. Can Bandon do it? Sullivan still picking off time. He's about 2 seconds faster than Dan Bandon. However, Sullivan has 2 lap cars to get through. Ian Dutta and William Duncan. And Duncan's going to be especially difficult since Duncan has not been budging for the lead cars all day. He's been wanting to find any excuse to race as much as possible. Here we go. Hawkins is going to make it by Conner Vale. He currently sits in the 4th place position. Now, what happened to 3rd place? I remember Eugene Demax up there. Oh, I think Alyssa Kirby has actually gone down pit road. So it looks like she's not going to make it to the end either. So the only 2 cars that have yet to pit, Stephen Pollard and Dan Bandon. Pollard is basically out of this event, and if he does go down pit road, he'll probably end up falling off the lead lap. Ian Dutta closing in ever closer to the 18 machine. Remember, time is running out. So he's going to go across the line at the 4-minute mark, which means that the race will end this next lap. Now, the race doesn't end when the clock ends. It ends when they make the final lap around the racetrack. So, at the end of this lap, when the first car to cross the line will finish. So, final lap for Dan Bandon. Can he do it? He's so close on fuel. I don't know how much longer he'll be able to stay out, but he's been pitting relatively off-cycle all day. He hasn't been Stephen Pollard off-cycle, but he's been not going with the race leaders. He's been running his own pit cycle. At the moment, it seems to be paying off. But will the 18 be mistaken in his judgments and slow down to a halt? Ian Dutta catching up. Tanner Sullivan's gotten by William Duncan, who I believe has gone down pit road. I think his crew told William Duncan, you better head down pit road, let these guys race it out. Sullivan, 4 seconds faster than Dan Bandon. How close is he? He's about he's about this segment of the course away. So that's not looking too well. Will Dan Bandon let Ian Dutta by? The plus side of having him behind you is he will act as a block for if Tanner Sullivan decides to catch up. I still don't see Tanner Sullivan there. So Dan Bandon coming down the backstretch. Ian Dutta giving him a challenge, which could slow him down. There's Sullivan. Can the 18 car make it to the line? Final turn. Coming to the line. Dan Bandon in the lead. Looks like he might make it. Ian Dutta passing to the outside. Bandon going down pit road with 1 straightaway left. Can he make it across the line? Here's Tanner Sullivan. He's working his way there. But coming to the line. Can Dan Bandon win the drag race? Oh my God, he has made it. Dan Bandon crossed the line just a millisecond in front of Tanner Sullivan. And Dan Bandon is going to be your race winner as he makes his pit stop to fill up for the second segment. What a close pit strategy. It was down to the wire and Sullivan missed the win by literally half a second, maybe even less. It was by a nose. So, let's take a look at the field. Your winner is Dan Bandon. The second place car on track will be Tanner Sullivan. Alex Hawkins will be third, followed by Conner Vale in fourth. Fifth was Sean Galligan. James Silverfox in sixth place. Zachary Fitzwater seventh, followed by Eugene DeMax, Logan York, Biggie Spencer rounding out your top 10. Then Alex Allen in 11th, followed by the 12th place runner Alyssa Kirby. 13th, I believe, would have been Stephen Pollard, but he's actually pitted. Jackie Tang is 13th. Stephen Pollard, the third, is in 14th. 15th is Ian Dutta. 16th, and the last car on the track is William Duncan. And then you have the drivers that have gone out of the race. Thank you for watching the first segment on this channel. Be sure to head over to Joseph Anesto's channel for segment number 2. Dan Bandon is your race winner. We will see you then on Joseph Anesto's channel for the second segment of the 24 Hours of Sebring. Have a good one.